Channel. Hello, everybody. We have Donald Wells here with us, and we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A, and we just want to say thank you very much to Don for doing this. This isn't going to be a crucifixion. We're just looking for some answers and setting some things straight. So
letting him have his voice unmanipulated by anybody's personal gains and media and all of that, and being joined by Tracy with Tracing the Truth also.
Yeah, and there's no angle here. We're just having a conversation, and we're going to let Don say what he needs to say. And
yeah, I do want to say, though, as this is going on, there's going to be an open chat, and any kind of disrespect, people are just going to be blocked immediately. This will be a platform where they can come to and feel like they have a safe place and not get attacked. So anyone doing that to Don or Candace, it's just going to be a blocking situation immediately. So I'm just giving you that warning. It's not going to happen here. So Don, we're going to get into then about you talking about the environment of where your house is, all the drug dealers living around there and everything, and just answer that and talk about it however you want to.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, there is a lot of drug issues of people, that are searching for meth or pills or whatever. But, like the other morning, I posted some pictures, of that red truck, that started at 3 a.m. and they's out there raising Cain, at 3 a.m. But so we don't know, and we've had stuff come up missing, and people are in and out of there all the time. And I didn't really realize how rough it was there, till something disappeared. But, yeah, there's a lot going on around
there.
Yeah, it's not something you really think about until all of a sudden you're paying attention to it, I guess.
I think his phone went muted and he doesn't realize that something happened there. Maybe a call came in. Sometimes that'll knock me off of mine as well.
Yeah, maybe do you want to go back in the church, Don?
Okay.
Do you want to go back in the church? Yeah, I bet it's the Wi-Fi cutting out on you since you went outside. We'll just have to deal with the sounds.
It wasn't that bad. It was mostly our mic was feeding through his phone.
Yeah, as soon as you muted yourself and he was talking, it sounded great, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear us now, Don?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know why.
Okay, that's okay. When you get a phone call, when you're on this, the way that we're recording this, when you get a phone call, it really messes with everything.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Let's just start from the beginning there again and tell us about your tell us about your environment, all of the drug dealers that live by you and that.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of people that come around, constantly, day and night, all hours of the night, looking for pills or whatever, meth, I don't know, but yeah, we see that a lot. Like the picture I posted of the little red truck, he got stuck there at 3 a.m. and they're yelling and screaming since 3 that morning. So when I went to work that morning, that's the first thing I was dealing with, and then until the police showed up. But yeah, that's pretty common in that area. A lot of rough characters around there, for sure.
Yeah, that sounds pretty.
Since you bring up the red truck, how did that tip come into play? Was that you that brought that up because you saw the red truck, or did somebody else bring that into play and tell you guys there was a red truck, or how exactly did the red truck come into the picture?
When I was leaving for work that morning, there was a guy at the bottom of my driveway wanting me to pull start his four-wheeler. And then the police showed up, and he asked if I could go ahead and pull it over to his truck. So, and the policeman said, yeah, Mr. Wells, just pull it over there, and so I did. And when we got there, I seen the truck on the bank of the ditch there, high centered, and I asked the officers, can I take some pictures? He said, no problem, Mr. Wells, go ahead. And he started asking him for paperwork. And when I went to the side of the truck to take a picture, there was some woman stuck her head out. There was a woman in that truck. And she looked like she ain't combed her hair for like 2 months. I don't know, but she just laid back down in there and covered up. But that kind of stuff is constant in our area. And, all kind of stuff going on. I think meth is becoming, well, it always has been, but it's getting worse, I guess. It's a serious problem. I guess it is everywhere, but yeah.
And that was the morning?
Well, sir, I didn't.
Sorry, that was that morning you left for work that happened with the four-wheeler and that?
Yes.
So the police were there June 15th, early in the morning then?
Yeah. Yeah, they just showed up because somebody else had called the law.
Wow. Well, you already know what I'm thinking, but we can't say it on this, so wow. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, just for funsies and to give the people a laugh, were you hiding in that shed when Chris did the interview with his wife or with your wife?
No, I was actually at work, and that's one of the things that made me mad when he commented something like that. I mean, knowing that all these people are watching his show, and we let him come up there to our house, and he's going to do us like that. Man, I just thought that was real unprofessional. It really upset me.
And definitely understandably, because when you put your trust in someone, then they turn around and try and paint you as the bad guy. And it seems like it's doing that just for views too. I don't understand why he's going after you specifically so hard. But yeah, I'm not him, so I don't know why he's doing that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of speculation, and there's a lot of people talking to him. And it's unbelievable how Facebook, how it is. It's bad.
Don, can you tell us if they verified that you were at work that day? Do you know if they've spoken to your boss?
I don't know exactly what they verified, but my boss, Richard Tucker, he knows. He talked to me that day. I also talked to Jamie Killian. He was there. I talked to him for 30, 40 minutes after, that day too. But trying to remember, but I think I talked to Richard about 30 minutes before I got the phone call, and then I had to load my tools up and head to the house as fast as I could. So, yeah. But I think they could tell. I was driving a Subaru that day, so I think they could tell by that too, because it's a brand new Subaru. I don't know.
Yeah, they should be able to track everything that happened that day. I think that's why there was a big issue when you said you thought it could have been 5:30. Can you clarify the 5:30? Is that when you thought Candace called you, or is that when you thought you got home?
Well, I couldn't remember exactly, but until TBI reminded me that it was 6:30 when we called, because that's what the 911 said. It was 6:30 exactly. And also my wife, I guess she looked on her messenger and was able to verify that too. Around the time that she called 911 was 6:30. So yeah, I don't know why I was thinking 5:30, but I guess I was just wrong in that.
Well, messing up the time by an hour, I mean, that happens all the time. That's but people are just trying to pick everything apart. And as far as you being verifying you were at work, I'm sure the police have done that, and people saying that they couldn't verify that just seems weird to me, because all the people you talk to and everything. I mean, if the police had just talked to them, they'd say yeah, which they probably did. It's probably just all rumors and speculations.
Yeah, because law enforcement, I checked again today, they say, yes, everybody is a suspect, but they said that everything that we have all come up with on social media, that they have already looked into those. There is no person of interest, okay? I feel like I should repeat that even. There is no persons of interest.
Yeah.
As simple as that. So incriminating Don, I'm not sure what people are trying to do.
They just need a villain.
Yeah, and to say that you were hiding in the shed and then point out into the past.
Oh yeah, because you hid from the police
because you had
once.
a warrant. Well, guess what? When he interviewed Candace, you are not a wanted man. You have no warrants out. You have no reason to hide on your own property. So
yeah, that was just ridiculous.
Ridiculous. He was trying to talk about the whole knee situation and who got hurt the night in October when the Jose guy was there, whatever the situation was. Can you tell us a little bit again? Sorry you have to repeat this again, but can you tell us about that night and what happened that night with that Jose and whose knee got hurt?
Yeah, that's not a problem at all. Candace wanted me home, so she made up the story that she had moved the guy in, and she didn't say anything about him or anything else. She just let me speculate that she'd moved the guy in. So. Of course, I flew across the country as fast as my little truck would take me. And, I got there, and the first day, everything's okay. But the second day we decided to have a few drinks, and stuff, and things started to get heated. And Jose, his wife had messed around on him, I guess. And he was kind of taking it out on me with questions and stuff or whatever. But I told him, me and Candace have had our problems, and we've worked through that and worked it out. And, but she thought that I was in Utah. I was at a party. And I told her on the phone that I'm at a party. We're getting something to eat. Me and my son, we got to get going. We got to get home and get in bed, because I had to go all the way to Park City that next day. But what she heard was that I was at a party and I don't want to talk to you, so bye. It's kind of the way she took it, but that wasn't the case at all, because I wasn't doing anything but just getting some food and going home to sleep so I could go to work. But that's not the way she took it. But so that was miscommunication right there, and we didn't know that till after, But anyway, let me go back to the story. But so me and Jose is getting into it, and he's calling me names and stuff. But every time he'd call me a name or say something about me, Candace would push me. So this went on for quite a while. Candace pushing me and pushing me and pushing me, and he'd say something and she'd push me. And finally, I tried to push her out of the way, and I was gonna hit Jose. But at the last minute, I decided not to. But I guess when I pushed her, she went down and scraped her knee a little bit. So she went, straight away, because her feelings are hurt. So he went straight away and called the cops. And that's how the police got involved. And then Jose told the police that I chipped his tooth and on and on. And then they told him about the powder gun I had in my glove box, because I keep that gun in there for the safety of my kids. I felt that was important, because I knew it was somewhat dangerous around my house, but I had no idea how dangerous it was, But anyway, she went to the judge, and she was crying in the courtroom. So the judge called her in his chambers, and she told him she made a huge mistake and she just wants me out. And so the judge let me out. He OR'd me, actually, with gun charges, and I thought, because I was facing some serious charges, but he OR'd me. And so, we worked it out and everything. And I pled out to a misdemeanor charge, and me and Candace worked everything out. And when we got to talking back to where I was, there was miscommunication. She thought I was partying. No, I was just trying to get ready to go. I was at my sister's party, but I wasn't partying. So it was a misunderstanding. But we worked it out, and we forgive each other, and that was that. Pretty much.
So at any time, did you ever put your hands on, push out of the way, move out of the way, grandma?
No, she was outside. I'm gonna try to get this. I broke my camera. I apologize. That might be a little bit.
It's fine on our end anyway.
Okay. No, she was outside by her trailer. I mean, I think she was standing in the doorway maybe, but I wasn't focused on her. But no, I never touched her. No way. And I would never hurt. I wasn't intending to hurt Candace either. I was just trying to get her basically off of me, because I wanted to hurt Jose, but I didn't. Mm-hmm. But
well, as a guy, I can definitely understand that. You want the woman out of the way because you're thinking you're about to start fighting this guy. I mean, it's always get the women out of there because somebody's going to get hurt.
Did you ever see Jose again after that?
No, because that night that I went to jail, and this is one thing I respect Candace's mother for, she told him to load his stuff up right now. He is out of there, and she took him to North Carolina.
Can I ask you, why was Allie staying at your house for an extended period of time when she doesn't live that far away from you guys? And can you explain, were your wife and her in a tiff? Because it seems to me like you knew nothing about that. So can we get into that also?
Right. Yeah. So when I left for Utah, I was, I had a good job down there, and I was wanting to move my family down there. And so I guess when she went to Wisconsin or wherever she goes, I can't remember where her mother went, but to help her sister, I think it's Illinois actually, and help her sister for a couple of weeks. And when they come back, Allie and them got together, and they wanted to stay there for a while, and I don't know, do whatever women do, I guess. Yeah. I have no idea. Yeah, and the kids all together, and the other two girls that they have there, and some are like, them girls and everything. But so I guess I don't know how this Jose got involved or how he ended up there. He come from New York, and so I guess some people dumped him off after they used him up for his money. I don't know, but I have no idea. But it don't sound good. I know that, but I mean, that's all I know.
Okay, now everyone wants to know the lie detector tests. Who took the lie detector tests? Who passed them?
Yeah, at first Candace couldn't take the lie detector test, and neither could I, because we hadn't slept in days. Mm-hmm. And they wanted us to take lie detectors, so you have to be real calm and everything. And they wait like 25 seconds in between questions. So when they ask one question in 20 seconds, you're going to be falling asleep. You got to be perfectly still and everything. So me and her, either one could even take a lie detector test. So I went back the next day, took the lie detector test, and I was told that I passed. And Candace, her nerves were so shot and everything that she couldn't take a lie detector test. They had to wait like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, have her come back on a Monday or maybe even a Tuesday to take her lie detector test, and she took it and finally and passed. And we never failed a lie detector test. We just couldn't take a lie detector test.
Did Grandma take one too?
Yes, and she passed also.
Can I ask how long after was, like, when did they ask for the lie detector test? How long after Summer went missing did they ask you to do this?
Immediately on me and Candace, yes. But
So,
I mean, I think they waited 3 or 4 days maybe, because I know we didn't sleep for the first 2 or 3 days. We couldn't sleep. That's impossible. But so yeah, when they finally got us calmed down and sitting still in that chair, you're gonna doze off. So it was impossible to take the test. But I took it the next day and passed. She waited, I think, 3 days and took hers and passed.
I think that's understandable.
Yeah, like no parent is going to be all calm and well rested after something like this happens. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to June 15th. You're at work. You get that call from Candace. From the best of your knowledge, what time was that, and how did that go from that call? Do you remember what she said? And kind of let's go on from there a little bit.
Okay, so she calls me, and I can hear the fear and anxiety in her voice. She's terrified, and so I'm thinking, well, she's probably just around the house. That was my first thought, but I told her, well, hang up from me. I'm thinking in my mind, I told her, just call 911 just in case. So
What did she say to you? I can't find her, or?
Yes, I've looked everywhere. I can't find her. She's not here. And I said, well, hang up and call 911. And so she hung up. I threw all my tools in the back of that Subaru, and as soon as I got in the car and started down the road, I called 911, and they transferred me to Hawkins County, I guess. And I told them what the situation, that our little girl's not there. And then after that, I got back on Messenger and called her and talked to her through the whole trip. I think it was 30 minutes. I'm not sure, but like 30 minutes, I was able to talk to her on Messenger all the way there. And she was in her mother's truck, driving everywhere, looking for her frantically around our house. So when I get there, I'm still on Messenger with her, and she's still not found 30 minutes later. So I drove directly to the bottom property and down all the way down to the creek. And I see my 3 boys together down by the creek over on this side. And then on the left of me is my neighbor walking around, and my heart sunk right then and there. And I knew she was gone. I knew something happened. I knew something. So I drove back out of there and went to the top of the house, and there wasn't no police there yet. I don't believe. There might have been a car too. I just can't remember for sure because everything just happens. I don't know, but there might have been a cop or two there. I just cannot remember, but it seems like there might have been. But after that, all these trucks and trailers with 4-wheelers and stuff started pouring in, and police, and they actually blocked or bottlenecked Beach Creek and Ben Hill Road. You couldn't get out or in or nothing. It was a nightmare. They just kept asking us all kind of questions. They looked at our phones for the timeline right then and there to see. It might have been the next day, I'm not sure, but they looked at our phones, and he got the 911 calls and all that and wrote all that stuff down. And that's about it. I asked them if I could go look in my car or whatever, and I tried to leave, and I couldn't even get my car out of the driveway. It was just blocked in. But I think the next day, I'm not sure. I can't. It seems so. I don't know. But I finally convinced him. But I got out and went talked to, or I shouldn't say his name, but I talked to him about people he might have known, seen coming in and out and stuff like that. But he'd been moving cars all day, so I don't know. I mean, it was hard to. It was bottlenecked, so couldn't do nothing.
Okay, people are wondering, why did you choose to drive the Subaru that day? Why not your work truck?
Oh, because the Subaru, since the boys have been out of school and everything, I was just sitting there, and I'm paying quite a bit of money for it. And I thought, well, I might as well get some use out of it. I'm wearing out my truck, but I'm pretty hard on vehicles, so I decided just to drive it for a while. That's all. Put some miles on it because it was just sitting there, really.
Yeah, why not go to work in a nice vehicle?
Yeah. Yeah, and in fact, my boss commented the day that my boss commented that day that Summer went missing. Just before I got that phone call, he was making fun of me. He says, "That's a hell of a car to be putting a bunch of damn drywall tools in." He was just giving me a hard time. That's how he knows where I was. Like because of that.
Yeah. Oh, and one real quick question, because of the vehicle thing. Grandma's car, Candace's mom's truck there, did it have a topper on it?
Yeah, it's got a topper on it, yes.
Okay.
So
I heard both, so I just want to make sure.
is there a red tote or something in the back of the car, or what?
I was looking at that picture earlier today because somebody commented on that, and I believe that is a red tote or something. Yeah, I was looking at that. Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I think I might have got that wrong. When I was looking at it, I thought you could see the back of the tailgate, and then whatever that red thing was like outside the truck. Like I thought it was maybe like a vehicle that was parked kind of sideways behind them, but I didn't know for sure.
I didn't either. I tried to pull it up, zoom it in, and I couldn't really tell, to be honest with you.
No.
So people are then questioning why, when you got home at 6:30 or whatever time, so if you called 911 at about 6:29, were you already on your way home, or how long did it take you to get home after calling 911, do you think?
I'm not sure because I talked to her that she had that messenger call, but I was passing traffic, double yellow line. I almost lost it in a curve. I was going as fast as I could possibly go. I was speeding like crazy. I'm really not sure, but I know it's a 45-minute drive normally. So I don't, I probably made it in 30, I'd say.
And you were pulled over, weren't you, on your way?
No.
Okay.
No.
I heard that. Okay.
That was the Utah drive.
Oh.
Oh. What was that?
I said that was the Utah drive. When you were driving too fast, you got pulled over then, not when you were driving home to get to Kansas.
Yes. Yeah, I was in Kansas, and there was nothing out there. I was in Kansas just flying, and because I was thinking, Jose and Candace got something going on there. So I'm flying home, and that cop was just right behind me. I don't know where he come from, but boy, he snuck up on me good. He got me, but I told him what was going on, and so he gave me a big break and let me go. He gave me a ticket, but not as big as a ticket as I was going. So I'm sure thankful to him, because it could have been pretty bad. But,
Okay. So now another big thing is people are saying, so when you did arrive there finally, why did you not go up to the driveway first? Why did you stop at the shed first? Did you go in the shed, not go in the shed? Or just why did you not go directly to the house and talk to Candace right away? Explain that.
Okay. The reason I went to the bottom property first is because I knew that they were looking all over around the house and in that area and everything. So I figured, by the time I got home, the best place that I could go would be directly down to that creek. I didn't even stop at the shed. I went by it, but I went down that steep bank all the way down into the creek with that little Subaru. And when I seen my boys and I seen my neighbor, that's when my heart just sunk right there. I just knew something was really wrong, so that was the beginning of this pit in my stomach that hasn't went away yet. And it's not going to, I don't believe. But so then I turned around, went back up that bank, and I might have looked in the shed at that time. I can't remember for sure, but I know I looked in the shed at some point. But I went back up to the top, and I do believe there might have been a cop car or two there at that time, but I'm not sure. I can't be positive on that. I'm just so mixed up and everything at that time.
Well,
One thing you seemed always super sure of, Don, was that she would never leave the property. She just wouldn't do it. And you guys reference her swing a lot. Why do you reference the swing? Was that like a boundary area for her? Did you guys say don't go past your swing? Or why was, Candace mentioned it a few times too, she would never leave past her swing?
Well, she would go, she may not have. I mean, I've seen her go to the edge of the property. I mean, not to the edge of the property, but to the edge of the lawn. But only like if the boys were down there, or something. Like the boys went down the creek one day together, and she went halfway down the hill, but she wouldn't go all the way. I mean, she was very leery. We tried to tell her or teach her to be very leery, because we do have some wild bears. There's been a lot of bears spotted, and we know there are creeps around there, but we just never thought that one would lay in wait and try to grab her, like what has happened. But, especially midday, not midday, but it's daytime, I don't know. But I've tried several times. I've snuck up. She'd be behind the vehicle just sitting there playing. And so I'd sneak up behind her or on the other side of the truck, and I'd sneak up on her and I'd scare her.
Uh-oh, your sound went out again.
Sorry, Don.
You're going to have to message him again. Oh, poor guy.
And StreamYard is kind of hard on phones. Some phones that they just don't like it. I don't know what it is.
It's really bad on my phone. It's awful.
Yeah.
I get kicked out of my own StreamYard on phone, so I don't bother using it.
That's what started happening on mine. Like I just in the middle of a live, everything's fine. All of a sudden, poof.
So
I heard the Melon app is really good.
What are you thinking so far?
My heart's breaking for the guy.
Yeah.
I feel really bad.
He seems very.
He just seems broken.
He does.
It's just their lives are ruined. Their lives are ruined.
Yeah.
I mean, why would he come on with 3 strange people and try and tell this story again after everything that's gone on with YouTubers and social media? Yet again, he's sitting down to do this. We can't give him immunity. We can't give him true help. And here he is again, trying to do it.
Yeah, just trying to get the truth out there. And he's back.
Hello again. Sorry.
Can you?
You're doing really good, by the way, and I just want to thank you again for doing this, because we were just discussing it, how much you've already been just
getting shit hammered by everybody.
by everybody else. So thank you again for doing this. I think you're doing great. So
Thank you.
But I really do want to hear the story that he was going to tell us about jumping out at Summer.
Yeah, can you go back to there again?
Silent.
Yeah, there's been we tried to teach her not, that there's wild animals and other things. We just, I mean, I don't want to. Sorry.
It's okay.
We call them meth heads, meth monsters, whatever. So we knew that was it, but I probably shouldn't say that because people would tear that apart. And sorry. But yeah, bears, and I've snuck up behind her. She'd be behind the vehicle, just sitting there playing or whatever, But I'd sneak up and I'd scare her. I'd scare the daylights out of her, trying to teach her, that. And yeah.
Don, what's your best memory thinking right now of you and Summer? Off the top of your head, the best memory you have of her?
Well, just before this happened, she would always want me to hold her hand where she could twirl, and she'd sit there and twirl and twirl and twirl, and until my arm got tired. I'm like, man, Summer, come on, I'm getting tired. I've just been working all day, And one day she come running in. She was running, and she come running in, and I just put my hand on her back and on her chest, and I felt her heart beating. And I'm like, man, Summer, your heart's beating so fast, And she just always had that smile and just, oh my gosh, I was always at work, constantly working so that they could have a life. We never got assistance, food stamps, or whatever, or anything. So I was always working, constantly. But anytime that me and her went anywhere together, she was my pride and joy right there. Everybody, I miss her so much. Oh my gosh.
I can't even imagine.
No, me either. Do you regret working so much, Don? Do you think you missed
Well, I take my boys to work with me all the time and stuff. It's just that she wasn't quite old enough yet. It wasn't quite safe enough for her yet to, in a couple more years, I would have probably been teaching her how to spot nails, but she just wasn't. I've had her out on a few jobs with Mom, but they'd always leave, but they can spot nails, like that airplane ride. I don't know if y'all seen that. We done the drywall in that airplane hangar, and that guy, he come in and asked if he could give a ride in his airplane. I'm like, I wouldn't let him miss it, So that was pretty awesome.
There was a rumor that the kids went to work with you that day. Somebody mentioned that the boys were at work with you that day. Is there any truth to that?
No, nobody. They weren't to work with me that day because I fired Dudley the day before. I fired him, and he was just creating a lot of problems at my job. He was driving around there and calling my boss constantly. So for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, but no, that one of my boys weren't with me that day. I didn't take them very often, and they really don't like to go, because it's kind of boring sitting there spotting nails all day. So, but they kind
They
of,
want to run free.
yeah, some of the jobs, where it's more open and stuff out in the middle of nowhere, they can just go out and play on a dirt pile. They love that. So, it just kind of depends on the job. That particular job there's a lot of houses it's a subdivision, and you got a lot of bosses and important people running around. So you can't take a kid at one of them places. It's not, you know what I'm saying? But some of them jobs you could take them to, and they could really enjoy the property and whatever the people were doing with it. You know what I mean? It's just some of the places are really nice, like that airplane hangar. You got to see that, so that was really good. The airplanes and everything.
Yeah, that does sound pretty cool, actually.
The dogs, were your dogs home June 15th, or you said they were gone for a few days, about the time Summer had gone missing? Were all of the dogs around? Were some of the dogs around?
And how many dogs did you have then?
Yep.
People drop off their stray dogs there all the time, and we've had a few good dogs, of higher breed that people stole from us, and so we end up with a lot of stray dogs, and so we just take care of them. That's all we can do, the best of our ability. But sometimes they just run off, and we don't see them for a couple of days. But at this particular day, they weren't up on the hill, but one or two of them come in, I think, if I remember right, eventually come in, but that was about it. So we don't know where they go or what they do, but we're not gonna.
So were they around at the time that the police had shown up then to take your guys' report for Summer missing? Were the dogs there then?
No, they weren't there. And these dogs are like, they don't know when to bark and when not to bark. And they don't know. I wish now I had some Great Danes or German Shepherds or something like that, because these dogs here are not any kind of dog you'd want to protect your kids. It wouldn't do a bit of good,
Now, a lot of people are wondering, how come Grandma's not living there in the camper right now?
She went to help her sister, because her sister, at least this is what we're being told, that her sister is not able to do a lot of work or whatever like that. So that's the story I'm getting told anyway.
Okay. So she must not be a person of interest then for the police to allow her to leave state, right?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, she was right there with Candace. I mean, she was putting a knee brace. Candace was putting a knee brace on her when Candace come in the house. She asked the boys where she was, and she said downstairs. And that's when she never seen her after that. From that point on, she's been gone.
Okay.
I just want to clarify before we move past that, because people are going to say Illinois. I thought she was in Wisconsin.
They lived in Wisconsin, but her sister lives in Illinois somewhere, and I'm not sure what town, but yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. So do you have any more questions, honey?
Yes, I do, but the one I just forgot. Another big thing people are harping on you for is when you were asked the question, what should happen to the person who took Summer, or whatever happened, if somebody has Summer, or if they abducted her or worse, you were asked what should happen to that person, should they be found or what? And your response was you weren't sure if you would want to put someone in prison because you know that life. And I understand your response because we talk, so you know my past and everything, so I understood your response. But also, it's in your church teachings, because God always said you forgive, right? So is that kind of why you think you would be a little more forgiving? Is it because of that's your religion, your beliefs, that's what you feel in your heart? Or can you kind of just clarify that a little bit for people who are freaking out about that?
Yeah, of course, the first thing that comes to your mind, if somebody hurts my kid or your kid or anybody's kid, is I'm going to hurt them. That's the first thing that's going to run through any person's mind. But if you allow the system to put them in prison, there's no worse place. Death is better than prison. Okay, you have to be in prison or have been there to understand that death is better than prison. So prison's way worse. And not only that, once you get in prison, them guys in there are going to be like, you know what, that could have been my kid, and they're going to act accordingly. And a lot of people don't understand that, and that's why I hesitated when I answered that question. And Mr. Chris probably wouldn't. That's probably way beyond him, I guess. I don't know to understand that type of thing. But yeah, prison is the worst thing that any person or human being could go through. So that's, but if the man asked God for forgiveness and changed his ways, who am I to not grant him forgiveness? I mean, I don't know. I mean, God says there's hope for all of us. So, I mean, I don't know that I could forgive him, but I know that God says we have to forgive everybody, and we have to work on that. But it might take me the rest of my life, So yeah, thank you.
Was that one that was it Jory?
Yeah.
That guy, a guy killed his girlfriend's child.
Yep, and
her, and then bailed. He ran away, and he was in hiding for like a year. But her mom, she said that she forgives him.
Yep.
Or that she's at least working towards it. So for anybody to think that that's just an outrageous possibility and that means that you're guilty of something, I don't get it. I don't understand. But no, that's when people truly believe in God, and not the way that you do for show, when you actually literally believe in God and you want to follow his rules, forgiving people for whatever they do if they ask for forgiveness. That's an important part of almost all religions. So yeah, I totally get that, because I believe in God myself. So
awesome. Well, that's great. That's great. That's what
I wanted to ask you, Don, sorry. Were you aware when you called Chris for that recording, that famous recording the other day, were you aware he was recording you and going to put that on his channel? Oh,
you mean the phone call? No, we didn't really. He never asked me, but I assumed he was, because I'm not that naive. I'm pretty naive though, but I wasn't that naive to think that he wasn't recording it.
But he didn't ask you permission.
He never asked me permission.
How about Jay for Justice? Were you aware she was going to do all of that and release that stuff and do that?
No, I wasn't. No, she never asked me or asked for permission or anything. No.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really underhanded.
Tracy, I don't know if you could hear at all, but yeah, he said Chris never asked permission. He already assumed he was being recorded for that call, but he was not asked if he could put that on his channel or even record his call. But Donald had assumed he was doing so, but it was not asked or given permission. Same with Jay for Justice.
You didn't know you were being recorded with Jay?
No. I thought it was just a regular conversation, but she never asked on that one. So because of that, I assumed that Chris was probably recording my call also, but I never asked. He never asked me, and
Don, you know that we are recording this right now and that we're going to put it on both of mine and Tracy's channels, and we told you this ahead of time, right? And we asked your permission, right?
Absolutely, and I thank you very much for trying to help me clear this up. Thank you.
I thank you for doing it again when you've been just bombarded with hate. So we're shocked that you did it, and we wish we could help a lot more than just giving you your voice. But I think we did really good for this sit down. But before we end it, without dogging Chris, is there anything that you want to address that you feel we didn't take care of that you wanted to tonight about what was said? Is there anything you really want to say? Uh-oh, we lost sound again.
Oh no.
I can't believe that they didn't tell him they were recording him. I'm shocked.
That threw me.
I'm really shocked. I didn't hear any of that. So when you said it like back, I said, wait, what? Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. He had said that to me like yesterday or the day before, that, I didn't know that he was recording me. I just called him because he left me a message to call him back.
Well, I caught that he called Chris.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, he called him, so he wasn't ducking the guy. Did he even know that was recorded? Ugh, that's very deceptive. I don't know.
I don't like it when people are underhanded like that.
Mm-mm.
It's bad enough what he did, but that's just way too much.
Yeah, that's our job. Isn't to add to it. Our job is to try to help if we can in a responsible way. And are we helping? I don't know.
Well, we're at least not manipulating really what he wants to say.
Right.
So, we're letting him say whatever he wants.
And I think if it was me watching, I think we're I mean, I think he's genuine and sincere. I don't know, but I mean,
So far, I mean, you can see the emotion; it's there, you know. But this is just got to be a nightmare. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sure we're gonna get attacked, but oh well, we're gonna get attacked anyway.
Yeah, you're getting hate no matter what you do. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
God, even I get hate. I'm not picking at anybody
I'm
or
just
doing
hoping
anything.
that, it's been darn near 2 months and the police are saying there's no person of interest. They let Grandma leave state. I mean, they would have to know and look into everything that we can think of into Don and Candace. They must have done that. Do you remember when I texted you when I heard Candace was letting him in your house? Do you remember? I said, "What are you doing?" And do you remember what you said to me?
When Candace was letting who in the house?
Chris.
Oh, yeah. What I said to you? No, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
I said to you, "What the heck are you doing letting this man in your house with no lawyers present or anything?" And you said to me, "I have nothing to hide."
Right. That's right. Yeah, that's true. I remember that.
So,
Yeah, I thought I didn't have nothing to hide, but with
Well-
him, you better not let him in your house. That's all. He's not your friend.
no.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not. Especially if he's doing that and not even clearing it with you before. That's just sneaky and underhanded, unethical. It's not cool.
Unprofessional, all of the above. Tracy, do you have anything to end this interview with?
There's not enough time in the world
Yeah.
to really interview Don. There really isn't enough time, and he's got to get back to his family, to Candace.
Please thank Candace, by the way, for all of us for
Yeah.
being
doing
okay with this for a little while.
And
Oh, don't just want to.
You're muted.
Hey, can I say one more thing?
Yep.
Trish had mentioned that I tried selling my kids when I was younger, when I was living in Utah, and I just want to flat out deny that. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Who in the world can you sell kids to anyway? That is just unbelievable.
you, just because you've been on the news and people see dollar signs and stuff, have they always kind of done this to you, or are they really like it's extra now because everybody is seeing, cameras and a few dollar signs, or what? I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, it's been this way ever since I was a little kid. They've turned everybody against me. They've hated me for all these years. They've always hated me. They've turned my dad against me in every way. And all the while, he's co-signing for them new homes, new cars, whatever they want. But they want me out of the way. And another thing, my dad said he was going to leave his house to me when him and his wife died, and I was going to sell my house and pay it off. And since summer, and my dad said that after summer got gone, this is when they started all this. They don't want me around. They don't want me in the picture, and that's fine. They can fight over whatever's left because I don't want to. They can have it.
The poor guy's just going nuts trying to get his own work.
And Candace is calling him. He's probably like, "What?"
He's probably trying to get on the freaking thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
If it happens.
Well, I'll do this in case Don doesn't come back. He's been having some connection issues. So we want to thank you very much to Don for coming on, and thank you very much to Chasing Truth for joining us.
Absolutely.
And yeah, hopefully everybody watching learned something and comes out of here with a little less hate and a little more understanding.
If we, can keep open minds about it, he is more than comfortable and willing to sit down. So we can ask him questions, but not if he's being beat up about it. We have no problem sitting down, and as you guys can tell, he's no problem sitting down. So if we want answers and we want to learn the truth, we can't be bashing the poor man. Just let him sit here and talk, and you see he's open to do that.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't ask many questions. He just wants to talk.
He might be trying to pop up.
Yeah, that was the hope, is we just say, okay, here's a question, go. And as long as he wanted to talk, we just let him do his thing.
And there was certain things that we had already known, because I know he's been in contact with PIs and with attorneys. I did help him out with some information with an attorney. So there's certain things that weren't talked about on purpose.
Of course, yeah. And there's certain stuff that he shouldn't be talking about, of course. He just shouldn't be. This family,
Yeah, they've been through hell.
too much.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, babe? You want to?
Yeah, I think we'll just end it. I know that he would thank everybody for at least being open to listening again. I don't know. I've really enjoyed getting to know both Candace and him. I think that they are very kind people. So, I mean, he knows my rough past with my dad, and he even wanted to talk to my dad to see if he could have my dad try and find God so that our relationship would be better. You know?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I
See, I
don't know.
don't know him at all. I'm just hearing what you guys are saying. My feeling has just always been that it was an abduction and he doesn't know. You know, if anything else happened at the house, I don't even think Don knows. I think he's just telling what he knows and that's it. I mean, I really didn't ask a lot. I was, hey, Chasing Truth was here for moral support or something. I don't know. I have no idea at this point. I guess I'll watch the final cut and be like, girl, you didn't even ask anything. Why are you putting this up? But I didn't want to interrupt him. And I knew you had those questions and we had limited time and tech issues. So I'm like, I'm just going to let them do what they need to do and I'll just sit here and wait. You know, I have like 1,000 questions for this man, but I was not going to do that to him.
I think he'll answer them, if we just give him the time and the room to speak.
Yeah, this wasn't a one
You
and done
see how
thing. We
open
can
he
obviously
is.
have him on again.
Yeah, he is open. He just wants to explain.
Can you do me one favor, though, before
Absolutely.
we sign off? Can you just give us a
what?
a little shush? You know, my
Why? Do I do that, Laura?
No, that's my thing.
That's her thing.
And usually
Oh.
I have everyone send me a thumbnail when they're a guest of doing that, so I just had to see you do it. I'm a nerd.
Oh, wait. Yeah, just let me solo you. Okay, now.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect.
Thank you. All right, I'll talk to you.
Gracie,
We'll
what am
send
I
it to
doing?
you.
All right.
All right. Do a quick little outro. Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
Both of us, I don't know.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully you learned a little bit. And like I said, come up with a little bit less hate. And yeah, we just wanted to let Don say his thing. We didn't want to steer the conversation anywhere. Oh, that's why probably we're thinking, why didn't you ask this? Why didn't you ask that? Well, we'll probably do this more too. We'll talk to them more. I'm planning on doing something with Don and Candace on my channel. So hopefully that'll pan out, but it'll be a different thing again. But
All about Summer.
yeah, all about Summer, not
Summer.
about the day she went missing, like all about her as a girl and them as parents.
Yeah, so I took the bullet points of what people kept asking, what I saw going around, and that's the questions we focused on for now. We've been talking to them for over an hour with some phone issues, so again, we thank Don for his time. And Candace, thanks for sharing your husband for the evening, and I know it's been hard, but thank you for trusting us to try and do a proper interview.
Yeah, because nobody's doing that. But all right, that's it. This is long enough. So thank you all for sticking around and hanging, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Ta-ta for now. Yeah, instead of using your live to bash Chris, use your platform to help find Summer. Yeah.
Well, that's what we did yesterday.
I sure wish Chris wouldn't use his platform to bash Don. Sorry, I'm upset. This is my platform. You don't like it, click off, because I'm upset right now. I'm upset because I get to see the aftermath of this family when he's doing that. It's me seeing that. It's me hearing it. It's me understanding what's going on and who's crying right now and the fight that's going on in the household right now. I'm seeing all that. Chris isn't. So yeah, I'm upset.
Chris is not bashing Don. His last, 3 lives have been nothing but everything negative about Don. If that's not bashing, I don't know. Break open the thesaurus and pick a different word, I guess. But
Okay, I got a different word. He's incriminating. He's incriminating an innocent man, just like he does innocent children. I'm not going to be nice tonight. I don't have to. If you don't like it, leave.
She's had a rough day. We've actually had a fight,
Yep,
too.
because I've been stressed out. People are assholes. Now, really quick, Donald has driven into town to have some Wi-Fi to say hello. We're not asking him any questions at all about this. He is just here to say hello, thank you to the supporters. That's it. If anyone's going to be rude, they're out of here.
You want to put in your things?
Yeah, where are they? Hey, Don.
Don.
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, I guess. Trying to.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
told everyone there's no questions tonight, but I'm going to kind of override that. I just want to ask you one question, and just without even talking about him, you already know. Can you just kind of tell us, after something like that happens and what aired like tonight or what airs like that, how are you feeling now after that?
After his broadcast,
Yes.
I feel really upset. I feel sorry for that 14-year-old boy that he, tried to send to prison, or if he sent him to prison, or I don't know, but I feel like that's just what he does. I don't think, I wonder, when he done that to the 14-year-old boy, did he go out and have a few drinks and high five his buddies and all that? Was he proud of himself for that? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wonder.
We won't speculate about that because we don't want people bashing you for that, but just it does make it very hard in your household, like between especially you and your wife right now, doesn't it? When people go and do those kinds of
Because
things.
because she don't trust anybody anymore. She's a total nervous wreck. She's afraid to trust anybody anymore. It's like almost everybody that she does trust turns on her. I'm trying to find some light somewhere. I don't know why. It's like all the lights are out in town.
It's okay. Behave.
We
be
can
careful,
see you a
be
little
driving.
bit. You're good.
There's lots of people sending their love and support in the chat, by the way. Tammy Barnes, Benny, there's a lot of them. Dolly, Samantha, April, Jeanette.
Yeah. It's just upsetting, I've been telling them the whole truth, and I don't understand why they just can't accept exactly the way I've said it, the whole truth. I don't understand that.
That's just the way it goes in this whole true crime realm, Don. Like, if you were to refuse to talk to anybody, they'd be making videos saying you're hiding shit and going after you anyway. You're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right. It's just, it's hard. I try to think about Summer, all day and pray for her all day. And it's hard to even do that because of all this stuff going on. And it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And I cannot.
When you were doing and allowed Chris to do the interview with Candace, or Candace allowed it, people are wondering, like, was he acting kind of friendly? Was he thinking he was like telling you he's going to help you? He clearly wasn't acting like you were number one suspect in his book for you to open up to him like that, right?
Right. He was acting, like all friendly and, and stuff at first. And then he started turning on us, or turned on me anyway. And I don't know why, but he turned it up. He said, he got the pressure off of Candace, but then everybody turned on me. And, he said in that one video that I was, mean to my wife, and she, was afraid for her and all this stuff. She's free to do whatever she wants,
Yeah, I've seen you two together, and I don't think she looks afraid of you at all. She looks fine.
Right. Yeah. I mean, she does what she wants. I mean, it has to be that way because I work all the time. Well, we have to trust each other.
Well, I'm sorry that he's doing whatever he's doing, but you do have a lot of support, so I don't want to keep asking you a bunch of questions. I just want, because I know we're going to have some hard ones tomorrow for you, but I just wanted to give you a chance to say hi to everyone. I know you were kind of upset a little. You didn't get to say goodbye yesterday. You did want to thank everyone supporting you and listening, so I just wanted to give you the chance tonight.
Yes, thank everybody. And everybody's in my prayers. And that's to try to, work towards keeping the commandments in the Christian community. We all got to strive to do what's right. And that's why this hurts so bad. I miss my daughter dearly, and I don't understand. I don't understand why all this stuff has happened the way it's happened. Why so many people have lashed out. It's bad. Like I say, bad enough that my daughter's gone, and then all that stuff added onto it. It's been real crazy, and because of all this stuff on Facebook, even my boss has questioned people. Everybody's questioned me, not just him, but pretty much everybody questions you, and you got to sit and explain and pour through the evidence and say, look, this ain't true because of this, that, or whatever, and you got to keep doing this over and over and over. I can't even. Nobody else can focus on Summer because of all this stuff. All this. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It shouldn't be going down the way it is, but it's just this true crime world. There are vultures, and they will just attack people, whether they're innocent or guilty. It doesn't matter. They'll just attack.
Yeah, and I feel like Chris just keeps adding to it just to keep his show going. That's all he cares about is ratings and money, and he hasn't, as far as I can tell, hasn't done one thing to help find Summer. So I can see. I'd like to know what
something else. Yep.
I'd like to know what that one thing is. If he has done anything at all to help find Summer and not barbecue me, I'd like to know what that would be. I mean, I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of people in chat that are telling you what I've told you several times. Do not talk to Chris again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'll guarantee you I'll never talk to him again. There's no way. Or any of his buddies.
Yeah. Well, Don, I don't want people to, I don't, because this is live streaming right now, like I told you, it's a live show. And so I know you're so open and honest that I don't want to keep you too long, because we can't, if this is live, and so if anything comes out, we can't like edit anything out because of what the attorneys had said. So I just wanted you to be able to say hello or whatever, and I just don't want you to say too much that people can run with and twist your words tonight.
I'm
That's
sorry.
all. No,
mean
don't
to-
be sorry. Nope, I'm just trying to protect you.
I don't
I'm
mean to
trying
be negative.
No,
I
you're
know
not.
I shouldn't be negative, and I apologize. I need to keep it positive. I understand. And,
It's hard to do, and we get that, especially after when there is podcasts like that happening. We understand. I just want to protect you from saying, because you are so open and honest, people might take this right now, and it is live. It's not a pre-recording, and so I just want to protect you. That's all.
that stuff, it hurts, and you want to lash out, and I apologize. I'm sorry for that.
You
You've
don't
done
owe
enough.
anybody an apology.
You're good,
Don.
Some people
I
owe
know-
you one.
I know I should keep it on a positive note and try the best I can, but I also need to fight. I need to fight against this sort of thing, and I feel that that's right. I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys very much for allowing me to be on your show.
Thank you, and we'll be
Anytime.
talking. I'll text you after, but you have a lot of love and support telling you to keep your head up. They're praying for you. Let's find summer. A lot of support. Actually, I would say more support than hate. So
Oh, a lot more. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thank you all very much. I appreciate you, and God bless, and love and prayers to everybody. Thank you.
We'll talk soon, Don. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you. Okay, we'll see y'all later.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
good night.
Bye, Don.
Yeah. You have to boot him. He doesn't know.
And there you have it, folks. Actually, I didn't realize Don was going to pop on, but that was... Yeah, I know you may all have your opinions about him and all that, but I mean, when I see him and when I hear him talk, I just see a guy who's just hanging on by a thread, just worn right out.
Mm-hmm.
Another call that I want to play. Now, this call is from Don. He called me again. But this one, I got to be honest with you, he was, it's interesting. Okay. It's interesting. Now, there's a couple of words here that I need to make sure that it doesn't go over, YouTube. So I may have to stop. And then I'm going to read through it and then I'll play it again. But it's only a 3-minute call. And I'm going to let me get in here, set it up. Okay, so this was a call from Don, another one. And I'll just let it play. We don't necessarily have to, break this one down in totality because I think it's going to be pretty obvious. Okay. So tell me if you can hear it once I start playing it. Okay. And Steve, if you can give me a thumbs up that you're hearing it on your set.
You bet.
Okay. You ready? All right. Here we go.
But they're willing to help me try to buy my daughter now. The company don't want to help me now. They're going to think that I did it because of what you did. Yeah, you lied on me, man.
What did I lie about?
Because I told
Oh, one other thing. You'll hear Candace yelling as well in the background.
you the truth, and you twisted it all.
Okay, what
That's
did
lying.
I lie about?
It might be,
Tell me what
that might be your opinion.
Tell me what I lied about.
I told you that, like, for one, that, yeah, me and my stepsister had something going on when we was younger, and you put on there that it was me and her daughter.
No.
Are you crazy?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I said it's your stepsister.
I guess my niece, or whatever she's supposed to be to me, the one that says I raped her, which is 100% lies.
Trish never said you raped her.
What it says on her video.
Well, that's her video. That's not mine.
Yeah.
So what does Trish's statement have to do with me?
You put her statement on your show.
But
On your podcast.
because I watched her statement, and I wanted people just like you to know the truth.
But she's lying. And that's the thing. You don't know whether she's telling the truth or I'm telling the truth. I know who's telling the truth.
Right. But now,
And she knows who's lying.
well then, but
I know.
what about the statement you gave me about? Is it your stepsister?
Yeah, my stepsister.
And you?
We were young.
How old were you?
Yeah,
How old were you?
she initiated all this stuff. I'm gonna tell you that right now. She initiated it. Yes.
Okay. And then you just went along with it?
Well, I was a kid, brother.
And how old?
I was a kid. I didn't know no better.
How old were you?
I was still a kid. I might have been somewhat a little bit older than her.
How much?
I can't remember. I was a kid.
Oh yeah. How many years difference? Do you remember?
There's a little bit of difference there, you know.
How many?
But she still initiated it and then stabbed me in my back.
How many years different?
Man, there ain't no talking, dude. I can see that. You're gonna twist everything I said.
I'm asking you how many years different. That's it.
I don't know. But you're just gonna twist it. You're just gonna make me have to look. And this happened like over 40 years ago, and she wants to bring it all up now. All the time I was in prison, she could have called the cops on me and had me charged for rape if it actually happened. So you know it's got to be lies right there.
Okay, so this is where it gets a little ruckus here. Candace says you're a effing idiot. He says we all make mistakes. You act like you're Mr. Perfect, like you ain't done an effing thing wrong in your life, and that's a lie. And then I say,
Okay, what have I done wrong?
Oh, according to you, not a damn thing, but I'm sure you have.
I'm asking you.
You're not perfect.
If you know my life, so tell me what I've done.
I know what Christ says, and he says everybody has sinned. So tell me you haven't sinned.
I'm a sinner.
Tell me.
so then he goes, tell me, he says, so tell me, you tell me you haven't sinned, tell me a effing lie. I'm a sinner, I say, I agree with you. And then he says, yeah, you are a sinner. Don't effing lie to me. I find it interesting he's talking about Christ, well, dropping the F-bomb on me. You ain't no better than me, effing you. And he goes, F you. And then this was the most interesting part.
And I will do everything I can to slander your name.
And he'll do everything he can to slander my name.
Wow.
So that's how I want to start tonight's show, which, you know, I think somebody's coming up.
Say something first, like this is part 2.
Part 2 interview with
I know
Don Wells, and once
People
again,
don't like when we call it an interview. So how about just part 2 of chit-chatting with Don Wells?
there you go. And once again, thanks, Don, for giving us your time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Okay.
All right.
As I'm sure you have seen, your sister-in-law, Rose, went missing about 11 years ago. Of course, I'm sure you've seen it. Some people are trying to tie you or your wife or both of you and somehow think that maybe both of you are responsible for that as well. I wanted to ask you, where were you and your wife around that time? Were you guys questioned in that at all? Or how did that kind of go?
We were questioned. We was in Arkansas, and we just had, was just born. And so we was in Arkansas. I was working in Missouri at times, and Fayetteville, Arkansas, Bentonville, Arkansas, pretty much all over doing the same thing I do now, just doing construction. But yeah, she just disappeared. They found her car parked somewhere. She was supposed to go to a bar, and they found her car parked at a gas station, and that's the last time anybody ever seen her.
Okay. And so you were in a complete different state than Rose at the time.
Yeah.
And your wife as well.
Yeah. We was busy. Was a newborn at that time. So yeah, we was pretty busy with that.
Okay. And you both were questioning it, but obviously if you're both in different states, clearly you weren't.
Right.
So,
Right.
okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I will leave that at that. I think that's.
I just want to ask, what was the three of yours relationship like? Like, did you know her? Because it was Candace's sister, right?
Yes, Candace's half sister.
Like, were you guys close at all? Was Candace close with her? Do you know?
I know that her and Candace was close. It was her favorite, sister and everything. But I never met her before. Never met her or anything. So I wouldn't know. But I know she was really nice. But I've never talked to her or anything.
A lot of people think that Candace hated her sister, Rose. But then when that Chris went through your house, we had all noticed, everyone watching, seen right away in the kitchen, there was a picture of Rose. There is a picture of Rose hanging up there. And so, you don't do that if you are like you hate someone, like people are trying to make it sound like. So
no, that really tore my wife up bad. And then she's been dealing with that for years. It's been hurting her. Now Summer's been abducted, and so it's been horrible for her. She's really dealing with a lot. I mean, we both are, but it's taking a toll. I can tell and then with what, Chris and others have done, she don't trust nobody no more. I tried to get her to come with me, and she's like, she just don't want to trust anybody anymore. And I apologize.
No, don't apologize. We understand. It's totally okay. We get it.
Yeah, she's she's afraid of everybody now. She's all messed up inside. And, you know,
Has every right to be. That is okay.
yeah.
The other thing they're saying, Don, is that when there was EquiSearch and the private search parties that were coming in, there's rumors going around that you only allowed searches around certain areas, but that you didn't allow your whole property to be searched.
Yeah, actually, I never got to meet Dave. I called him yesterday. I talked to him and tried to get him, you know, TBI and their information, get them their phone numbers. So we're trying to get him back. I said some things about David Rader, and I was wrong. It was somebody else that was doing an interview with him, and I didn't know who Dave Rader was at the time, but it was that other guy, and I don't know his name, that was saying that when he seen my video, his hair just stood up on the back of his arm, on his neck or whatever, and he just knew I was guilty, and I thought it was Dave Rader, and so I had to apologize to Dave Rader for that, because I didn't know which one was which at that time, but yeah, I've been in contact with Dave Rader. We're trying to get him back now, see if they can help us search, you know, around our hills and everything with the new evidence that we've got and stuff that I think that you've got now.
Yep.
So we're trying to get him back. I'm sending him all that information and everything, and got him in touch with TBI in Hawkins County. So we're hoping. I don't know if we should say anything about all that.
Not yet. We'll wait.
Yeah.
We'll wait on that. We'll do that a different day. Give TBI a little time to do their thing. Yeah.
So yeah, but you didn't restrict anyone, like you let them search wherever around your property?
Oh yeah, from day one, they've been more than welcome to search all our property. They've searched it, you know, at least 6 times, and then they come back a few more times to search. And yeah, they're more than welcome to come back. There's no problem. Yeah, I don't know what else to say on that, but
Nope. That's.
Yeah, we just want to clear that up, because some were saying that you were only allowing them to search certain areas on your property. So we found that really weird.
yeah, they didn't have to have any search warrants or anything like that. We haven't retained no lawyers in regards to Summer's disappearance or anything like that. We don't have anything to hide. They're welcome. Chris, on the other hand, is not welcome, because he turned it a nightmare, you know, made us look bad in every way. But I'm not trying to attack him or anything, but I'm just trying to defend myself, the things he's trying to say.
Yeah, understandably.
Yeah. Okay. Now, some people are pointing out that they noticed on June 15th that your daughter Summer has had candy, orange soda pop, a slushie at Sonic, but people are now, I'm sure you've read, trying to say, well, what kind of food did she eat? How come there was no real meals in there? Blah, blah, blah. Do you happen to know what she all ate maybe on June 15th? Did they go out to eat anywhere, have a big breakfast at home before they went somewhere, or how that went at all?
I really don't have any idea on that, but usually her biggest thing that she likes is French fries. She's always wanting to stop and get a French fry and a soda, and you know, every day before I left for work, she says, "Dad, will you bring me candy?" Or she'd give me a list, and so every day when I come home, she'd come running down the hill at the truck and meet me and open my door and just say, "Daddy, did she bring me candy?" And I says, "Yes, Summer, you know I did, but there's a couple times I'd forget, I'd be tired or whatever," and she'd say, "That's okay, you know." I miss her so much.
I can't even imagine, man.
That just made me think of Leland always asking me, "Did we get candy? Did you get my gum? Did you get my Tic Tacs?" I'm so
I haven't had to
sad.
buy candy at all since she's been gone. So I haven't had to buy candy. Just every time I stop at the gas station, anything, you know, I think about her. And when I pull in the driveway, the other day, Candace come pulling in the driveway, and I run out to the truck to get Summer, and I forgot for a minute that she wasn't with us any longer. You know, so that was really depressing. You know.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wish for everything I got that she'd just magically just be home safe.
And there is absolutely no clues. Nobody. We don't know the TBI. Nobody. We have nothing. Don't know which way to go. It's definitely is going to take a miracle. There's no other way than a miracle from God I mean, that I can see. There's no other way. So I pray constantly, try to stay in scripture, and, commandments is a must. I've been trying to do that for quite a while. But I'm not perfect, of course. But I see my baby. If something has happened to her, I'll see her in the resurrection. Jesus pointed out, this life is nothing. This death is nothing. It's the second death that's the one we got to be leery of, is the second death, not this one. This life doesn't even matter. But yeah.
I hate to have to keep asking you these questions now. Summer, some people think because we didn't really hear her a lot, some people think she didn't really speak that much. Was Summer a big talker? Was she more quiet and reserved? Did she know how to swim also and love to swim? We saw a little bit, but people were wondering, does she know how to swim?
No, we never taught her how to swim yet. She does. I won't. My son, I taught him how to swim on his back, so he knows how to slow down and take it easy, swim on his back. And when we went out to Pineview Dam, he took off across the dam. I was scared to death. But my son Donnie went out and got him, but he scared the daylights out of me out there in that deep water, But he can swim on his back. But we would never take our kids anywhere that's unsafe or deep water or anything like that. There's no way. But I even talked to Candace about that a lot. Made sure you can see in the videos of shallow water, everything. So, yeah.
Well, it does make a little bit more sense with, I don't know if it's true or not, but Hunter had said she had slipped and gone underwater. So it made a little bit more sense that she might panic a little bit if she couldn't actually swim and, tread water and bring herself back up. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's real leery anyway. She won't go. She it's just like around our house. The only time, the boys went down to the creek that time, and she would only go about halfway. She wouldn't even go all the way down there with them. But and we taught them to go in pairs, at least in pairs, if not all together, not ever by themselves.
And that's normal. I've taught the kids the same thing in the woods there in Minnesota,
Yeah.
And that's normal. I think any country folk will understand that, Don.
Yeah.
And
every one of them's got a knife, just in case,
So Chris asked you to describe the scenario of your daughter Summer being abducted. He asked you to describe that, which they were analyzing yesterday. I was wondering if you could re-describe what you think in your mind happened to Summer, because you had said something, and they're picking it apart. I'm sure you watched it, so after you answer that, I'll kind of say some more.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, because I know that Summer would never leave from around our house, but she has gone outside by herself a few times. And I'd say, boys, you can't leave her outside by yourself. But we usually, we'd go outside and she'd be right there close by or whatever. So she would never go far away. And I knew that. We've been trying to teach her that you can't, wild animals, everything else. I've seen a bobcat before. I've seen some wild dogs in the area. I've seen them run off across the roads on my way to work with chickens and stuff, And so we tried to teach her the best we could. And so when on my way home, Candace couldn't find her, for 30 minutes after calling 911. It took me probably 30 minutes to get home. So I knew they were searching around the top of the house. So I drove immediately down to the bottom of the property, figuring they probably hadn't looked down there yet. That's the first place I went, down all the way down to the creek. And when I seen my boys down by the creek, all three of them together, and I seen my neighbor coming around the other side of our hill to my left, I knew at that point that Summer had been abducted, or Summer was not around, because she would never leave from around the house. So I turned the car around and drove. I don't know if I looked in the shed at that time or not, that little shed there at the bottom. I can't remember if I come back or not, but I drove up to the house, and I believe there might have been a cop car or two there. I think there was a couple there, if I'm not mistaken. I could be, but that's when everything started. Time either started slowing down or speeding up or whatever. I don't know, but I just knew in my heart that she wasn't nowhere around. I knew somebody had grabbed her.
You said, I don't know, I think somebody grabbed her and probably threw her in her car. Now they're trying to say you let slip her so that the abductor is possibly a female or possibly maybe your wife took her somewhere. Now I explain it away. You're always talking about Summer. That's a her. You have her on your brain. So you just said her. I don't know what you have to say about that.
Yeah, I really don't know. I haven't been able to think right since this stuff's happened.
Yeah.
I still ain't right at all. The only reason I go to work because I've been doing it for so long. I can't even work. I've been to work the past 3 days and I haven't got one thing done.
Yeah. I'm sorry it keeps bothering you all day.
Well, it's not you. It's everything else. Everything. It's not just you. We want to try to find our daughter and share information with everybody that we trust anyway. And and then Candace, she's pretty tore up. I've never seen her like this. So trying to help her all I can. But like I say, I can't think right. So I could have said anything. It's hard to say.
I didn't really think too much of it. They're just trying to milk the show, whatever.
Well, they're just looking at every little thing you say and overanalyzing it and looking for things that are suspicious. But I always say everything looks suspicious when looked at with suspicion. Mm-hmm. So it's you kind of can't win in that scenario.
That's the thing with the statement I made with Chris. I was being absolutely truthful. And they can't see the truth. They can't see that I'm just being the plain truth. I don't understand that. Way over analytical and everything. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The other thing too is they're tripping up on the dogs. You're saying you're at work. Candace was gone most of the morning and afternoon to the lake and hospital with Grandma. They're wondering, how did you know that most of the dogs weren't around all day then, if nobody was home?
Well, I don't know if they were there all day or not because I wasn't there. That's impossible. But I just noticed that they weren't around at the time when I got there.
Yeah.
I think one or two filtered in, but for the most part they weren't there. And then the next day they were all there because when they brought the dogs in, and they say everybody was taking pictures and everything, we had to take them all and put them in the back of our Suburban so the cadaver dog or whatever the bloodhound could do its work. So we had to catch them all. Keep them locked up.
So I actually didn't even get to tell you this yet, but I had somebody email me this afternoon, and her best friend is a home health nurse for one of your neighbors. And she sent me an email and said, absolutely, your dogs are always found. In fact, her exact words were, they go to her house and they pee on her car, on the tires of her car all the time. And that, your dogs are known to be in packs running all down the road and at other people's houses, and they do wander off quite a bit. So.
Yeah, and these are stray dogs. We don't claim them as our own because they're all our strays that we just take care of. So we're definitely not going to be claiming them and be liable for them, if you will, because they're just dogs that people drop off. I don't know. And I'm not going to shoot them, so.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
You want to say hi, dude?
I just know you tried to call him, so I was just trying to connect with you.
Right. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you. That's my pastor, Dave. I'm sorry. Nick might say hi.
Okay.
Oh, say hi for us.
Yep. Maybe he'll interview with us sometime, him and Robin.
Yeah. Well, him and some of our church members, Robin done an interview with Chris, I think, and now she won't want to do anything anymore either.
I've been talking. People really jumped on the hate bandwagon with her, so she's been also worried about her family. So it's too bad people are doing that.
Yeah, they're just vultures. They gotta hate everything, and they're even coming after me now.
Yeah.
And I haven't said anything bad about anybody, but they're still coming at me too. It's just part of the game.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But she's the sweetest girl ever, and Summer loved her, and every time Summer would go up to her, she didn't just shoo her away. She would pick her up every time and love on her every time. Never got tired of holding Summer. And I know she was tired. So, yeah.
What was Summer's favorite candy? You mentioned she always wanted candy. What would be the number one thing she'd want you to bring home?
You know, it really didn't matter what kind or whatever, but I would always get her a big bag of candy, and I'd say, now you distribute it to your brothers, okay? And she said, okay, Dad. And so I'd just give her a bunch of stuff, and she'd eat a little bit, but she'd distribute it to her brothers, you know. And
was she a fan of sour? Did she like sour candy?
I don't think so, but I really don't know. I bought her Tic Tacs, just a bunch of different stuff. I can't remember what they're called, everything that's called, but just all kind of stuff. I miss her so much. Oh my gosh.
I can't imagine.
Do you know the swimsuit from June 15th? Was she wearing a swimsuit? Where did she put her swimsuit on? At home with your wife? At Hunter's house? Do you know anything about that?
I think Candace would always bring an extra set of clothes. I think she would, if I remember right, because, you know, I didn't get to go a whole lot. I'm always at work, you know, but every once in a while I'd meet him up there or whatever. But I believe she would have her swimsuit on, and then once she got out of the water, she would have a set of clothes so she could put dry clothes on her, you know. And I believe that's how it worked, but I'm not exactly sure.
Do you know where the swimsuit is now? Is it still at home? You guys have it at home?
I have no idea, and I wouldn't doubt it if TBI has it, because they come in and the forensics, they took a lot of clothes. They took all kind of stuff out of there. Our TVs, we had a Canon camera, that's gone, and we had a lot of pictures on that. And so we don't know if we're going to get any of that back. I'm thinking, you know, somebody else took it, not the FBI, but somebody else. And I'm thinking we might not get that back. I don't know. I hope we get it back, but pretty expensive.
They gave your cell phones back immediately, right?
Yes. Yeah. They took them for about 30 minutes or whatever. They took them back and do whatever they do to them. I don't know what they do, but they brought them, you know, right back and handed them to us. No.
The red truck. So on part one, when we sat down with you, I don't know if maybe we got days mixed up, but you had on June 15th, the same day Summer went missing, the morning, like before you left for work, the police were there. Is this the same red truck? Is there two red trucks? Are we getting days mixed up? Can we go over the red truck? And one last time, I promise this is going to be the last time I ask. And how did that tip come to? Was it you that was the eyewitness? Did a neighbor say it? Or how did the red truck come into play? And when did you, The
red truck that they're looking for is an eyewitness account of a truck that was parked at the bottom of our driveway the day Summer went missing, or right around that time Summer went missing. So we don't know who this eyewitness is or what. We don't even know if it's a Toyota Tacoma. We just know it's a red truck with a ladder rack. That's all we really know about it. The other red truck that I took pictures of that morning, I was about 8 days ago or so, 9 days ago, I was headed to work, and there was a guy right there at the bottom of our road, right there at the bottom of our driveway, that wanted me to pull start his four-wheel drive, or his four-wheeler. And so I said I would, and the police pulled up and was asking questions and asked if I could pull that four-wheeler over to his truck, and he was high-centered, that little truck that was high-centered there. So the police started asking for paperwork and all kind of questions and stuff. They all know who I am now, so he wasn't asking me any questions. But I asked if I could take a couple pictures, and he said, "No problem, Mr. Wells." And I said, "Well, I'm heading to work." And he says, "No problem." So I guess he helped him get that truck off of there or whatever. I don't know. But
okay, so this is this is different days then.
Yeah, it was only about 9 days ago or so when this happened.
Okay.
About 3 in the morning.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, we got that mixed up then.
Yep. Oh, that's good. Okay. Now people have a picture floating around. There's a yellow Jeep or truck in your driveway. That's your coworker, and they're kind of getting timeline mixed up because they thought maybe you worked with the one guy 7 years ago. How come he was there the day before or whatever? Can we go over that again?
No problem. Okay, so Dudley, the guy that I rehired, worked for our company about 7 years ago. And he went through all of our crews, and everybody fired him, and he ended up, well, first let me back up. They put him with me first, and I worked with him for half a day, and I went home at 11 o'clock. I come back the next day, and by 11 o'clock, I'm like, there is no way, you're going to have to go. He started, I told him, you go work on that apartment over there, and I'll do this one over here. I don't know what was up with him, or maybe it was me. I don't know. But anyways, I just knew I couldn't work with him. But after that, he went through all the crews and everything, and they all let him go. They didn't. I mean, he ended up getting fired pretty much by every crew we have, and and that was 7 years ago. So here it is, in the present time, he gets a job again with one of our crews, and they're saying that he's having problems, this and that. And I thought, well, I'll be the good guy and try to give him a chance and see what we can figure out and work out. And it didn't take long to figure out that I couldn't work with him. But I attribute it to him being on some kind of serious drug or something. I don't know, I don't have no proof or anything like that, but I mean, it was pretty bad and obvious that something was really wrong. And he was yelling at me one day. I've been with these guys for 13 years this time, and he was telling me where to go. So I went to lunch and come back, and I told him pretty much where to go. And so he was furious with me, very furious. And he called my bosses constantly and told them all kind of stuff to try to get me fired and everything else. And so that day I fired him. Well, the next day is when Summer come up missing, the very next day. He has an alibi for where he was, but through some of the police agencies and stuff, we found that he does have ties with Tony and some other of their friends and stuff. And then we find out, Tony lives, and that's the guy that tried to abduct the 12-year-old boy in Kingsport. And he had tried to abduct him 2 days after Summer disappeared. And Tony has been staying on property by our house 1.5 miles away from us. And we don't know this guy. We don't know anything about him. We just now found out he lives 1.5 miles away from us. And so we're trying to figure out what his mother's name is and trying to figure out where this property is. But I'm pretty sure TBI has probably already figured all this out, and they probably already searched that property. But we're just trying to make sure and do what we can, because this just makes sense. This guy, and plus he had a truck like similar. They're saying his niece got a hold of us and said that he had a truck similar to the one they're looking for, or exactly like it. But we don't know. We can't confirm all this right now. It's just all speculation or whatever, or hearsay, however you want to say it. So we're trying to figure it all out and do what we can. And but it's interesting to know that he was just 1.5 miles from us all this time. And so if there's a connection there, and there's possibly a drug connection of some kind of drug, I don't know. I've never seen anything like this behavior. I've never seen anything like this before. And it's pretty scary because, I mean, he's been my number one suspect all along, for reasons of trying to get back at me or whatever. But the guy's in the clear as far as the police are concerned. He's got an alibi, but we also know he has ties with this Tony. I don't know. We're just trying to figure all that out right now and do what we can and get David Rader to come back, hopefully, and police involved any way we can. I wish we could share more information, that we just know, where they've been, what can we do, and stuff like that. It's like they don't want to share info, and I guess there's good reasons why, but we want to do everything we can for our daughter. But I guess this is where the public comes in. If she's not in this area, that means she's out there somewhere amongst the people. So we're just hoping and praying that people will help us.
Yeah, that's the hope, that maybe someone will hear about this, see a picture, and recognize her somewhere. I mean, that would be the best way that this could come to a conclusion. That's for sure.
Yeah, and if these guys, the criminal element, they wouldn't want to leave no evidence or somebody. I mean, it scares me to think of that. But anyways, we got to give it all to God anyway. I mean, I don't know. I'm having a hard time with it. I love my daughter. She was my whole world. She would only come to me for the first 18 months of her life. And Candace had, she had a hard time it hurt Candace, but she had plenty of time to win her love. She got to go to all these places, and I'm glad she did. All the time I was at work, and Candace got to go and do a lot of fun stuff with her, and I'm so glad that she got to do that with her. Yeah.
Okay. On June 15th, everyone knows you called your wife. Could you kind of give us a little details about that? Do you kind of remember, was it morning, afternoon, later afternoon when you called her? Do you remember how that conversation went at all? Because Hunter's saying you called about, two people touching children or whatever. So could you kind of tell us if you remember what time the call was and how that conversation went?
Well, the only thing I know is, I call her from time to time just to see what she's doing. And she said that she's taking care of some prescriptions or whatever. It seemed to me that it was later than that, but because I made up my mind, well, they're busy doing this and whatever, I may as well just stay late at work. So I was working late, had to sit and talk with Jamie for a good long time. And then my boss come around making fun of me for using my car to put drywall tools in. And so he knows where I was at. But about 30 minutes, I'd say after my boss left, I got that call from Candace, and she's frantic and everything. I says, well, just in case, call 911. And so I finished packing my tools in the car, threw them in there actually as fast as I could, and got in the car and headed down the road, and I called 911 myself. And then once I got done with that, I talked to her on Messenger all the way home, and I was flying. I think I made it, like I say, I've said it before, but about 30 minutes. And that's when I drove straight to the bottom of the property because I knew they were searching all around by the house. And I hadn't heard, they found her or anything. So that's why I went straight to the bottom of the property to look around that area.
So you would guess maybe an hour and a half before Candace called you and said Summer was missing, that you called her?
Okay, I'm not understanding what you're saying. Can you?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, just the time that you called her that day. About what time was that?
Like how far in between calls, between you and her having that call when she's picking up prescriptions to she's calling you saying Summer's missing? Do you know how long?
Yeah, I honestly can't say, but I remember, the only thing that I can remember, it was thinking, well, I might as well just work late because they're busy doing other things and there's no point in me going home because I don't want to go home and sit there by myself. So I figured I'd just work late that day. And that's, yeah. Golly.
Yeah. Okay.
Snake just talk about snakes.
Oh.
Oh.
He just went under my feet.
Oh, geez.
It's just a gardener. It's just a gardener snake, though.
I still would have screamed like a little girl.
Don, is there how many days are we into Summer missing? 55, 56 days.
I don't really keep track of time, but yeah, I'd say almost 2 months. Yeah.
How is it for you and Candace at home with dodging all of this hate now? I know you guys got a lot of hate before being in the public eye. Is there anything that you guys do? Are you able to maybe go for a walk together and like kind of clear your minds at all? Is there anything that you guys have been able to do to just kind of maybe escape the craziness for a little bit or anything like that?
No, there's been absolutely nothing for us. For the first week or more, and still goes on, we've been on Facebook day and night, trying to get help from people to help find our daughter. And we don't watch TV. We don't, there's nothing. I don't want nothing anymore. I mean, people say we should go out to dinner or we should do that. I don't want to enjoy anything without my daughter anymore. I come to this church here. I can see my daughter run up this hill to the top and wave at me and run down and play and all over this place. She'd be all over this church visiting people and just having a blast. That's why I wanted to come here. And but
is her memorial there where you are?
no, that's in that little memorial thing's at the Solomon's Temple Baptist Church out there by where we live, but there's no cell service out there. But this was her church. This is where she was at home at, right here. She loved it. She loved it, She always loved women that were, that women of, I can't think of the word, that they're professional women, you could say. she looked up to professional women and could see herself like these women, in the future. And that's why she hung on to all these. She just loved to, I guess, see herself like that. Unless she would visit with everybody. They tried for the longest to, you got to sit down somewhere. You got to get down, sit down. But she refused, and I pretty much give up on her. Most all the kids would sit there and behave, but not Summer. She would be all over the place. And that's okay.
It is, yeah. She marched to the beat of a different drum.
She is. Oh, yeah. A free spirit. I know it well. Do you have a prayer? Was there a prayer that was Summer's favorite that you could share with us?
No, we kept it pretty basic with her. Love God. We love you, Jesus. Love you. Love all of us kids. And when it comes to the kids, we kept it real basic. When it comes to prayers like that. So I don't really remember anything specific, but I was trying. Before all this happened, we would read out of the Great Controversy every night with the boys. We didn't Summer, and we didn't really make them listen, but we was trying to help them understand the importance of that book in the future, because they're going to see all this stuff happen. The Sunday law and all that, it's going to happen in their time, and they're going to all these kids today are going to have to make a choice tomorrow, about the Sunday law, and it could be like they might have to give up their life in order to keep the commandments. But potentially these kids may never taste death. If they're alive when Jesus comes back, they'll never taste death. They'll that's kind of cool to think about. But it's going to get bad, and it's important for these kids to understand what's going to happen in the future, and that's where Ellen White's book comes in. Explains, her book explains Revelations. This makes it understandable. Daniel's prophecies and all. It's so important. I believe that with all my heart, and I like to share it with everybody if I can. But Summer loved it here. She could feel the spirit. She just danced around, and I just can't believe she's gone, just like that.
Well, one thing I want to say is you don't very often see children happy at church, but Summer, she seemed like she was really in her element there. It seemed like she loved it. And that was always it always gave me a good feeling in my heart when I saw that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to put any churches down. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good churches, but there's a lot of children at this church, and usually they're like putting the children. I mean, children are at the forefront in this church, and I love that. That meant a lot to me. As far as the church. So yeah, all these children here are extremely happy, and they have a private school if you can afford it. We were trying to get them into their private school because they teach, Bible principles and, the important things. And all these kids here are extremely happy. So that's very important. But not trying to put any other churches down or anything like that. There's a lot of good churches.
No, I don't think you put anything down. I think that's fine.
It was well said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll just have you thank your supporters, because I'd have to say you have a lot more supporters than hate. And you already know we're going to have the haters. We have to be okay with that, whatever. Let them throw their stones. But you have a lot more love and support from people. And it's nice to see it. So if you have anything to say to anyone listening before we end this.
Yeah, I just want to thank you all for all your support, for helping to find Summer and try to keep her at the forefront. And please, if there's any way you help me find her, I appreciate that. And just thank you, and love and prayers. Okay, I know, yes, I've made a lot of mistakes in the past. I know I've learned a lot, and I'm sorry if I've hurt anyone. I'm sorry if I hurt my sister Jeannie. I'm sorry. I don't know what else I can say or do, but that doesn't mean that I would ever hurt anyone again, or in any way, or that I don't love my daughter with all my heart. I would never, ever, I was younger, I made mistakes. I would never make those sort of mistakes again. ever. You know, all I can say is I'm sorry. I mean, there's nothing more that I can do. I mean, I'll do whatever. But right now, you know, I'm sorry. All right, thank you all very much, and God bless. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all.
We'll talk
Appreciate you
soon.
too.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much, Don.
Y'all have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep,
You
definitely.
got it, man.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
What do you think?
Yeah, again, I mean, hearing him talk, it seems just like a father searching for his daughter. I know a lot of you watching, you think he's involved or he did it or whatever. I just don't get that vibe. I could be wrong.
The more and more we talk to him like that face to face, I just think it less and less. I don't know. And I know there's things that are red flags. We aren't dumb, but you could look into anybody and we're going to see red flags.
Well, you want to talk about red flags? I have done nothing to anybody, and it's going around that I'm a sex offender.
Just because
There's literally no proof of that. I've never been charged with a crime ever. Like, you look up, try and find my record, there's nothing. So yeah, I mean, anybody can that's proof right there, how anybody can just be made to look awful with no proof at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to take away from this.
Yeah. So we've got a lot more we're working on with Don. He's been nothing but open and honest. And again, I think I'll just end it with thanking him yet again. Candace, thank you.
Thank you,
I know
Candace.
you're stressed out, scared, and nervous, and we don't blame you. Don, wow, he's had to be strong for himself, his kids, his missing daughter, his wife. Aren't you going to feel dumb if he turns up guilty and there's proof? But
No.
won't you feel dumb if there's proof? And you were bashing a man who is down, like beyond bashing him when he's down. Wouldn't you then feel dumb? And then who's going to go all around on the platforms and apologize?
Nobody.
Who's going to do that? Or are they just going to quietly walk away and go on to the next case like it didn't even happen? Jennifer.
That's exactly what will happen.
So,
And if we're wrong, so be it. We're just talking with the guy. We aren't saying that we know something you don't know. We don't know anything more.
we only know how we feel because of our own. We're a little bit closer than some. That's nothing to brag about, but there's reasons why we feel the way we feel.
Yeah.
And we just want to share that with you guys, and maybe we can help some of you see. And it has helped because some of you are like, wow, I am seeing Don a little bit differently. And that's all we're asking. We're not asking, you don't have to completely change your opinion. Don knows it. Like, they know that this doesn't look good. You know, he's guilty of a bad past and doing bad things in his past.
And some people have been saying, we do not condone that. We know that what happened back then was very, very wrong. It's not okay.
We didn't know him then.
Well, all we say is his past, what happened then, does not mean that he did this to Summer.
Yeah.
And that's our point. We're not saying that he's a saint. And we're not saying that what he did back then is okay. Not at all. It's not. He knows it's not, as you heard tonight. Yeah. I just wanted to clarify that because a few people have been saying we should say that a little bit more because it looks like we're like sympathizers for it. And that's not the case. We just don't think that means he's guilty of this.
Yeah. Everyone keep being respectful, and you can see we will get some answers and a lot more. He feels comfortable because he's not being attacked and he's having his voice his way. You are going to notice some editing. It's because he cannot stop talking about other family members.
He starts
that there's a
mentioning
gag
too many
order.
names, and it's like, man, it's going to take me forever to edit out. And it's going to sound.
No. I mean, there's other family members that he absolutely loves and misses, and we promise to stay to a gag order, and we're going to edit that out. So when you hear the editing, we are just abiding by that gag order, and that's it.
Yeah, that and when the sound goes screwy, because we do have a lot of issues with his phone.
Yes.
I have to keep trying to mute
He drives
him
to church
while
every
we're
time.
talking and mute us while he's talking, so it's not all echoey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling with that, but yeah, that's why there's editing. It's not like we're trying to hide anything.
Oh.
Okay,
Ta-ta for now.
Okay, we're really done this time.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Crazy. Thought I was alone in standing up for the Wells. Absolutely not. Wouldn't you rather stand up for this family and then if you're wrong, you'd be like, well, you still did the right thing. I've come to the conclusion I had to ask myself, what if we back this family, and what if it comes out our judgment is wrong, something comes out and one or both parents are guilty. And I've already told Mr. Share, I honestly would still be there for them. I would. I can't really explain it, but I wouldn't turn my back on them. I would still give Don human person to talk to. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
A little bit. What's up, Graz?
Hey, Mama Kim.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot the bottom of the dog trail where it comes out onto Ben Hill Road. I don't know why, but anyway, this creek is down here. You can see the water through there, goes out through there. The ridge, let's see. And anyways, it's right here. It starts and goes up along the side of the ridge, goes up to the top, almost to our back door. Okay, so on my way home that day, I knew that they were searching at the top of our hill for Summer, and I knew my best bet was to drive straight to the bottom of our property. So up here where this house is on the left is our road. I passed it straight. This is all our property here to the left. All this, our house is up there on top. So all this is our property. So I turn straight away in here. Straight. Our house is up there. I drove the Subaru straight down here. To the creek here. I went down this hill right here. I seen my boys straight away over there. All three of them were together. And I looked over to my left over this way, and I seen my neighbor over there. And that's when I knew something was very, very wrong. And then, so I hollered several times and screamed for Summer. No, of course, no reply. And old hunting blind there. You see where the tree service, I'm gonna get out. Anyway, you can see where the tree service has cleared all this out, all the way, both ways for power lines. Okay, all the way up to that house up there. But anyway, so turn around. And then at that time, you know, I don't know if I looked in this L shack here. It used to be for horses. I framed it in a little bit. I was going to try to utilize it, but I never used it. And then inside this shed here is just a bunch of junk, whatever, a lawnmower. Winds blowed the roof off. Just a bunch of junk. So at this time I drove to the top of our house. I guess I'll go ahead and film that. Chris said this hill was real bad. I had to use four-wheel drive. I use my two-wheel drive truck to come up this hill all the time. of our mountain chimney top, and on the back side of Chimney Top, there's a road called Chimney Top Loop. Houses. It was circles around back out onto the main road. So, film it. Somebody could have taken her around the base of the mountain and brought her to this side. And I've been through this road a few times before. There's actually an old dirt road and stuff that landslides on over the base of that mountain. It goes across on that side. But it's been covered up by a landslide. But it could have been logged or we don't know. All the way on the very, very top, I'm going to try to pull this up, is a tower. Can't see it with the camera, maybe barely, but all the way on top there, they say it's a fire tower, but what it is an old green and red light that turned, and that's how they got to Tri-Cities Airport back before radio communications was real good. Something like that. I'm sure that anything I think of, or anything the public has thought of, TBI has already thought of it many times. But there's something we're missing because we still haven't found it. Out through these woods and stuff, I'd say it's almost next to impossible to even walk through some of this stuff.
Oh, that's not.
I am on live right now.
Right, so
but I
did
can
I.
still bring you. Here, do you want me to? Do you want me to put you to the microphone? They can hear you. Okay,
Yeah,
repeat what you just told me. What you just who was bothering your work and doxing you and your work details, Don? Who was doing that?
Well, Mr. McDonough put out there, to the world who I work for and everything, and now my boss is getting threats and everything else. And so, I don't know. I mean, my boss is really cool. He's but it's pretty bad when they put out who I work for out there to the world for all these haters and his crew to harass my employers now.
We lawyer.
And that's just, I just found that out.
Wow.
Thank you, y'all. I just wanted to let you know.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry that's happening to you, man. This is
Sorry, Don.
bullshit.
Don, we're so
Well,
sorry.
You
I
got
think
to.
my boss is bigger than that. So hopefully, I think
Yeah, I'm sorry,
I think my
Don.
boss is bigger than that, bigger man than that. So, well, it's not y'all's fault, but just wanted to let y'all know. Thank you.
All right.
I'll
Well,
let you go.
thanks for letting us know. They
Good
all
night.
heard you. You have a good night too. Say hi to Candace for us, and thanks for giving an hour of your time tonight. All right. Bye bye. That is fucking ridiculous, you guys. I am so angry that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh
I'm
boy,
gonna go
Donna,
ahead.
you need to delete that video.
Stand down right away,
now.
or I'm going to help them sue the shit out of you.
That's doxing.
He's
You
being
can't do
sued
that.
already for the Crow case. He's been named as a defendant in that case, so he's good for all of this. We need to start working for an attorney, guys.
Yo, I'm
Yeah, he needs
shaking
Donnie's attorney.
inside that he literally just called 15 minutes after recording with us to find out what just happened. You all think that this is okay? Like,
There's going to be a massive purge on YouTube coming.
Tonight.
All this behavior that you people, you haters, you think this is okay. I think making up lies about me being a sex offender and going after Don's job and all that shit. This is all illegal. Doxing people, threatening people, all of it is illegal. And you're going to get shit hammered. I'll take out a loan and I'll hire a lawyer and I'll start going after people. I didn't want to have to go into debt over this, but I'll do it.
Hey,
this
I
is
don't want to.
unacceptable, you guys.
Yeah, that's beyond the scope. But I'm not going to mention her name, but everyone knows that there's a YouTuber now that's.
So I'll just start by saying, due to our phone call before recording, there's certain things that we have a gag order on and certain things you're not comfortable talking about, and I think that's okay. So we're going to, tonight, I have a couple questions, but then you're going to just speak about whatever is really on your mind and what you want to speak about. Okay, we'll start with the questions, just in case Sonja calls in. The neighbor, you said when you got home that night, and only answer this if you can, you said you saw your 3 boys down and your neighbor as well, and you knew she was gone because she wasn't down there, she wasn't up at the house. And people are wondering, how well do you know that neighbor? You don't have to name the neighbor, but how well that neighbor that you saw that night, how well do you know him? And do you know why he was out there around your boys?
Yeah, a lot of our neighbors heard, us screaming Summer's name, and so I don't know, I don't know for sure because I wasn't there, but I've known him for years, and he's always been really good to us, real friendly and everything. But since all this stuff's happened, I don't know, things have changed a lot for us since this has happened. But I'm trying to understand your question exactly. So yeah,
How well did you know that name?
Yeah, I've known him on and off for years. We've met each other a few times, quite a few times. But I mean, we're not like friends or anything either, but we're good neighbors. One of the best neighbors I got. I mean, he'd do anything. He went and helped search for Summer. He'd do anything for us. He's a good guy.
Well, I think that clears that one up, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and really quick, I just wanted to go over, because we chatted on the phone before recording here, but you said you're just being bombarded. You and your wife are being bombarded by people who really just don't want you talking to me and really just like bad mouthing me and stuff, as if you guys don't have enough on your plate. They have to bring all that to you as well. And you also wanted to touch on some things you've seen where there's some people even pretending to be you and Candace, and it's crazy, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there playing both sides of the field, and they're attacking my stepsister and Trish and all of them. They're pretending to be us and attacking them, and then they pretend to be them and attack us. And we're just now starting to figure this out because we really haven't been talking. And I just reached out to my sister Mary, and And, of course, she told me that, the genie just really wanted all this to stop. And then we made the apology video. I apologized to her. It's not, people make it way more than it has been, and how the rumor got started with Trish, I'm not sure. The original allegations were horrific. Them won't be my nieces that are like, way younger than me, but they, I don't want to really mention their names, but I already did, but they deny that they even said some of these things. They flat out deny that they don't want no part of it, because people have, pretended to do this and that and be people that they're not. And they've really started a pretty horrific thing. And all them allegations that have to do with my first set of kids and all that are completely false. Everything that they've said about Trish and Mary's daughter is completely false. And, and Mary's daughter, even, she denied that she said anything like that, and they're hurt. They so I don't know, but it's pretty bad, and it started a really bad situation. And they're still attacking. They still contact me and act like they're my friend, and my wife, and act like they're her friend, and then they go to McDonough's show or whatever and post up and post their lives and everything or whatever, spread all their lives and attack any way that they can for whatever reason that we don't know why people would be like this, but they are. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's
disgusting.
What goes on. Yeah, it goes on social media, Don. And like I showed you earlier, what they're doing and how they're trying to attack me, and they just don't want us talking, even though most of the people that are probably telling you that are people that are going around and talking crap about you also. So it's just like this weird thing. We've got people that call Child Protective Services. Our friend Ben has had 33 Child Protective Services reported against him and his wife, and trying to get his kids taken away, because that's how people on YouTube work. They go for your real life, and they'll call the cops on you. They'll call your employers. They do background searches on all of us, and they'll try and get you fired from your jobs and everything. So when you told me all this stuff that people were spreading around, all of this stuff, trying to get you guys to stop talking to me, it's not a surprise. It's not new. But that's one thing people bring up, is that, well, you used to think that they were guilty of doing something, and do the Wells know that? But you do know that. And I mean, I've texted you privately some things also. So, I mean, you did know that I wasn't always on the page I'm on now, right?
Yeah, a little bit about that stuff, but I'm not sure. Yeah, you told me, you weren't. At first, you thought I was guilty of all this stuff because of, I don't know why, but yes, I understand. But,
people who have credentials and had a career in this, and letting that manipulate.
Yeah, getting that. Plus, just going by like the statistics.
Yeah.
But yeah, we realized that once we got some information that
we were wrong.
Yeah, it's just not true. You have an alibi and everything, and Candace's story and Allie and H, that all lines up. So it doesn't look like anybody that we know of was involved. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I know evil forces, they use lies, they bring up the past, because that's the first thing, evil forces will throw in your face is your past and say that you cannot change, or you will always be this way. Bring up all your mistakes, say this, and tell you, you can't change, and stuff like that. I don't know. It's a crazy world. But anyways, yeah.
So, tonight, let's just go over, because you've been doing nothing but answering questions. So I told you, let's throw questions out the window this evening and just really go over what you want to go over, what you want to chat about.
Well, I just, I've got a lot of problems. It's bad enough. Our daughter is gone. At this point, we don't know where she's at or what she's going through. But it's bad enough, me and my wife are deeply hurt, and all this stuff going on with the psychics all over YouTube, Facebook, and coming out on our property and getting in fights at 2 a.m, having a little alcohol, and Mr. McDonough and all the problems that he's created, and pretty much going with all these false stories and allegations on Facebook and just running with it to make his name or whatever. He's really attacked me and made me look pretty bad in all his people and followers that actually believe all this stuff. You know, they're vicious. You know, like I say, they've created all these fake accounts. They even created a fake account of me and called TBI and said something to the fact that her body was out there on the lake, and they spent, you know, a good part of Saturday out there looking for her body. They couldn't get a hold of me because I was in church. So when I got out of church, they finally got a hold of me, and I'd had to explain that it wasn't me. You know, that's the kind of things that these underhanded people are doing. They're attacking my family in Utah, and then they attack us here and pit us against each other and attack everybody. I wish, you know, there should be consequences for that. They really need to stop doing that. They're destroying our lives. You know, they're making me, I get it. When I was younger, I'd done some foolish things, and I apologized to her for that. I talked to Mary, and we've worked it out. And, you know, it's just, with all these rumors, it just turned everything more worse and made them think things that weren't true. And I think anybody would fall into this trap. And, but, you know, these things with my nieces and my first kids, they're scared. They're afraid to even say anything for fear of these people are going to attack them and their credibility, and they're going to lose their jobs and lose their kids and all these things. You know, there's people attacking me at my place of employment. You know, how much longer can my employers hang on, you know, before they just, you know, they're going to, pretty soon I'm wondering if I'm even going to have a job. They've been really good to me. My employers have always been really good. And they're all like family to me, you know, and for people to destroy that and discredit, you know, make me out to this monster that I'm really not, it's just, it really hurts. You know, and people, you know, everywhere I go, they don't come out and say it, but you can see the looks on their faces and stuff, you know, and people believe all these lies. It's not right.
No, it's definitely not right, Don. And to anybody watching, you need to stop with this attacking the family thing, even if you think they're guilty. This is not your damn place. Give your information to the police, let them handle it. Going after the family privately, that is wrong. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
It's just, God, it's just disgusting. And we have Sonja just popped in.
Sonja popped in, yeah. So we've got your sister here. Sonja, welcome. We are recording right now. This is not live. We are recording this though, just so you know. Thank you for calling in. And Don's here too. I'm sure can you see?
I can't see her.
Yeah, she's just got an icon. And Sonja, if you can hear us, you have your microphone muted. Oh, there you go.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay. Hey, Sonja. Thanks for calling in.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sonja, you and I have spoken, and I know it's been kind of weighing on you. You've been kind of wanting to keep quiet, but the more and more that you see your brother being under attack and Candace being under attack, I know you've told me it's been quite hard for you to continue to bite your tongue.
Yeah. I kept hoping it would just go away. If everybody would stop saying shit, the fire wouldn't continue to grow. But
yeah,
unfortunately, that's not the way it's going to work. Yeah.
What would you like to get off of your chest, Sonja? Because you've heard everything, and we've talked about it. Yeah. What would you like to? Where to start, right?
There's so many things being said out there, and I'm probably the only one that's been in contact with Donnie. Mm-hmm. You know, for the last 20 years or 30 years, his stepsisters haven't even talked to him. They don't even know him. And they're saying all this crap about him. And it's like he was out here last summer for a few months. They may have seen him for 10 minutes. But other than that, it's been, 20 to 30 years since they've even seen him.
And I know that we kind of discussed, but I mean, we were kind of wondering, like, why are they kind of coming about this now that Summer's missing? I know we've had lots of comments, like even from survivors of things, like why now? Or one person left a comment, why didn't they come out like when Summer was born or something then, if it was how they're saying. And this goes back to what Don is saying.
I know that too.
Yeah, you've got these podcast people who are meddling and making it worse. And like Don said, making it worse so that these channels can get views and put on shows. And that's no good.
Yeah, and they're just saying all kinds of stuff that's not true. Apparently there's something that happened between him and Jeannie when they were kids. But it's not like this is a pattern. He never abused his own kids, they told me.
Yeah.
And nobody else. It's just like, so, you know, there are just all these rumors out there that they're just not true.
Yeah.
You know, when I asked his son about it, and he says, like, what? Where in the hell did that come from? I says, you haven't been watching all the stuff on there, and he hasn't, because he don't, you know, they've already attacked him. He don't want to be involved in it, and I don't blame him.
Yeah. I talked to him privately. He told me the same, that his dad, that Don barely spanked him as a kid, and that absolutely there was no inappropriate touching at all.
He's not a violent person. He never sexually did anything to him.
Yeah, I don't get that vibe from him at all.
Could I ask, are you Don's older sister, younger, close in age?
2 years younger.
And is it all right, and you don't have to answer this, but could I ask, did he ever be inappropriate with you?
Of course not. No, not in any way.
Honestly.
So yeah, I'm not seeing the pattern at all.
There is no pattern here. I think he made mistakes when he was younger. He was a kid. But it's not like there's a pattern of anything here. I know he would never touch his daughter. I know that.
Sonja, we got to mute you just for a second so we can let Don hear.
Yeah, we have audio problems, so we got to mute you one at a time.
We got to mute guys in between, yeah.
All right, what do you have to say about all that, Don?
Yeah, Sonja, I hope she can hear me. Can she hear me?
Yep, she can hear you. She just can't reply.
Yeah, we was just talking about how people were making fake accounts and attacking our step family, and then they turn around and attack us and everybody else and in between, you know, and I didn't know if you would realize that. But, so they're making it into a whole lot bigger monster than it really is. But yeah, I just hope we can work it out and get along and hopefully turn this into looking for summer somehow. But all this stuff, you know, with psychics and Chris McDonough has stopped the investigation. Ronnie Larson, I think is his name. He's pretty upset about the whole thing. I'm sure the judge and everybody over the case is pretty upset about the whole thing. I just hope people will come out and help us to stop all this. And you know, it's just trying to, you know, keep it all going and attacking my wife. They're trying to turn my wife against me and against this show here, and they've done nothing but try to help us, you know. And I wish they would just stop or help, or the people that aren't involved in doing these sorts of things, please help us, you know, to just please help us. You would, please.
Yeah, that's the thing, is we need to really move past this and get back to the fact that there is a missing girl. No one seems to really care about that. It's just so weird. I don't get it at all.
Yeah.
Can I add something?
Oh, absolutely,
something to that? I just wanted to say that it is ridiculous what all the family feuding and how it has turned this whole investigation away from Summer, and it's such crap that, you know, it's a shame because I really do feel like she's been abducted. Nobody's even looking at those possibilities, and I feel like whoever did this is like, you know, I've heard that there's 15 more kids since Summer went missing. It's like a free-for-all. Nobody's looking for them. They're all looking at Donnie and Candace.
Yeah, there's something really bad going on down there.
And as far as the family feuding, that'll probably not be resolved. That's been going on from day one. You know, there's always been a big split there. I just wish that would just be kept privately. It has nothing to do with Summer.
Me too. And it's unfortunate you have other channels.
Yeah.
Other big channels that are making a big production of that specific part. I am not in agreement with that. I actually have been in private contact with one of the channels and telling them I think it's wrong, but they just don't agree. And that's too bad. And that's why we wanted to have a safe place, because we knew, like, Don's talking. I mean, he's even being so open to let an ex-cop in his house and all of that. And we're like, well, if he's going to talk, let's give him a safe place to talk where it's not going to get twisted around on him.
Yeah, because God knows they love to twist everything.
Yes, they do. I can't believe it. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's sickening. And they've actually, like, they come after us just for doing that. Like, they're spreading the rumor that I'm a bad guy, done some...
Yeah, everybody on my... Sorry, but... Yeah, it's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Don, I wanted to ask you, have you guys been offered any type of, like, therapy or any kind of help or anything like that?
Well, yeah, I'm probably not supposed to talk about that. Of course, I don't want therapy.
No.
I don't want therapy, but I'm willing to do whatever that they want. Whatever, I'm willing to do whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, okay. Do you think that is there any questions that you've heard that we haven't gone over, Don? Is there anything you really want to say that we've kind of missed, or that people haven't asked you that you feel is missing?
No, not at this time. I don't. I just hope, that these people attacking our families on both sides of the continent and everybody else would just please stop all this. And, the FBI, anything that the public thinks of, or if they think I'm not looking for Summer or whatever, why aren't you out looking for Summer or whatever? Well, anything that I can think of, FBI or TBI has been there 3 times at least. They've searched, I don't know, they've searched 500 square miles, helicopter for a whole week straight. They fly airplanes at night with infrared, looking for any signatures whatsoever. We're all stumped. We don't know where or how she disappeared, and I don't want to elaborate too much and get in trouble with the gag order. But we've tried everything. We're trying to get EquiSearch, Dave Rader, to come back, and right now with these psychics and everything going on and all this hate going on the internet, they don't want to let anybody in at this time, and I don't know what to do except for to plead to the public, please help us, somehow. And that's, I thought Facebook, would be the best option to try to help find my daughter. And I accepted all friend requests that I got, like 2,500. And it's probably the biggest mistake I ever made, to just tore our family completely apart. But the things that people say and stuff like that, it puts you down, and it really affects you badly. It makes you feel like you're useless. There's no hope and this and that. And when some of these rumors first started out, I've had women calling me, screaming at me, did you do this? Did you do this? And I'm like, do what? I did. That's before I was aware of the allegations, with my nieces and everything. And I'm not even so sure that they're the ones who started this. I don't know, but I know that they're scared to say anything. I think, they should stand up and tell the truth, but I almost don't blame them, because I know they have been attacked and by tons of people. They've shut down their Facebook. And but I'm not mad. I should be, but I'm just, I guess, I don't know. What can you do?
Well, I think after going through that for a couple of months, a person would just kind of be throwing their hands up at it. Because, what can you do? If you completely ghost off social media, they'll say, oh, because we were onto something. And if you keep fighting, it's like, well, why is he talking? Like, that? There's just no way to win. And I'm so sorry that this is happening to you, to Candace, to your family. It literally keeps us both up at night. Mm-hmm. It's sickening.
Yeah, it is. So I really want to thank you guys for helping the way you have, and the public that does support us. There's a lot of people that do support us, and there's a lot of people that do believe in us. And I think if you sit down and you really look at all the evidence and everything, a lot of people do believe us, but there's that evil entity, that they're just in it for the show. They're in it for the money. I'd like to know how much, he makes for show. We've made some, we've thought about it, but we don't know. But it's got to be tremendous just to keep all these lives going. He's making, huge money.
I can show you how to look later.
Okay, but yeah, he's got to be making tons of money destroying people's lives. It's just not right.
Don, that actually it reminds me now, because that's a lot of comments that I'm getting. Does Don know you make a few dollars on YouTube? Does he know that you've gotten subscribers from having him on your channel? And I tell them, yes, you do. And I let them know that you actually wished my channel well. Do you want to, you do know that, right? And I've kind of told you, I make a little bit of money, but not a lot.
Well, yeah, we all got to make a living somehow. And I wish I could do what y'all are doing or something, that would be awesome. So that's great. But at least you guys are sticking to what's right. So you have to be commended for that, and that's extremely important. And it's like you said, you could you could go out there and make a Jerry Springer show out of everything and make big dollars if you wanted to, but you choose to do the right thing. And so I want to thank you for that. And because it's really helped me straighten out a lot of this stuff, and maybe some other people will come forward. I hope and pray, and I hope and pray, Summer, we can concentrate on her instead of trying to concentrate on defending ourselves constantly. It's bad, go through all this horrific stuff day after day, and then in the end of the day, finally being able to think about Summer and pray and, beg God to please bring her back home somehow. It's definitely going to take a miracle. The police, the FBI, all the 106 different agencies I've heard were here, and they can't find her. So only God knows where she's at, and only God can help us. So I just please keep praying for all you guys that support us and believe in us. Just please keep praying, for Summer. She's a beautiful little girl, and we surely miss her very much.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to stress to everyone. Regardless of what you think happened, who did what, please pray for Summer. The more we pray, just the better the chances. It can't hurt. So take a few minutes and throw up a couple prayers for Summer, please.
Mm-hmm. Instead of the hate comments, just hashtag bring Summer home.
Yeah.
Don, that brings me to a question that you actually sent me a link to him. He's another big supporter, one of our newer friends in helping kind of rally behind you guys, Benny, Blood Money Ben. He was wondering how you're feeling now. What do you think the next 6 months look like if Summer's still missing? What do the next 6 months look like? You already said that you're worried about losing your job. Candace, we've seen her on video chats with you guys and seen how just she's a wreck. She's an emotional wreck, and then she's got all these people. You should hate Cher for this, blah blah blah, and you should do this. So she's really got a lot on her. So I understand, but what do you think the next 6 months looks like going from?
Yeah, we don't know for sure. If it was up to Mr. McDonough and his crew that are doing all this attacking, they don't care about the evidence. They'd lock it if he could. I believe he put the cuffs on me and locked me up for the rest of my life, no problem. He ain't got a problem with locking up innocent people. His record shows that. I don't want to attack, but the truth's there. People know that. I don't have to say no more. I don't know what the next 6 months. I hope it involves Summer coming home. Because it is. People say it's just that it can't happen, that she can't just disappear. Well, there's 250 kids, like you mentioned the other day, missing from the Eastern Tennessee area since 2020. Where did they go? If the kids can't just disappear, then where are the other 250? I don't know. But I was telling someone earlier today, I can go down that dog trail. If I was in a hurry, I bet you I could make it down there in less than 20, 25 seconds at the most. I could be down that dog trail to the road and gone. No problem. I don't know. It's just so hard to go day by day without Summer. Always on my mind. But yeah, these hate groups, I'm sure, like I mentioned, the crew, they're trying to infiltrate with my wife. They're telling her things and, sending her things up. And they're trying to turn her, again, they're trying to, still play this game, put us against each other in every way. And it's not right. So I don't know. Like you said, she is really tore up and she don't know which way to turn. She don't know who to trust anymore. And it's sad. It's real sad. They're tearing her up. She's at a breaking point. She's at a point that it's not good. I've never seen her like this. It's not good at all. People are preying on her. It's not right. I wish they'd stop. But all you good friends out there that do know her, however, please support her. She is tore up. But people are pretending to be her friend and all this and that, and still playing this evil game. I don't know what else to say. It's pretty bad. It's not right what y'all are doing.
Yeah, I agree. And there's no way for us to prove to Candace or to you, for that matter, that we're above board and we're not going to somehow use everything to turn on you, other than, you can see what we have done.
Yeah.
But
that's what I always said.
Either way, we feel for you, Candace, and we're hoping for the best in all this, and we just want you all to have peace And we don't want to be causing any pain or anything like that. If we are inadvertently, I'm so sorry. That's not our intention at all.
All right, we appreciate you guys. Like I'm saying, I wish we could focus on finding Summer, but we haven't been able to since all this craziness, tearing our family apart. So I wish we could focus on looking for Summer. I don't know. It's been over 2 months. She could be anywhere by now. But I just want to thank y'all, and I should probably head back towards the house.
Can I say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, what would you like to say before we end this here, Sonja?
I wish people would stop all these rumors too, so that they could focus on Summer, not having to defend themselves to the world. I really don't even understand why people aren't looking at other options, because they seem perfectly clear to me that she definitely could have been abducted. I wanted to say something about the dogs. People are always talking about the dogs out there. When my mom lived out there, I remember her telling me that dogs would come on her property after running for days, chasing coons or whatever they do, and they would just be, the dogs would just wore out. They would just lay there and rest for a day. She'd feed them and water them, and they'd rest, and they would go. And so I know that dogs run out there for hours, and these dogs are all strays. So something goes running in the woods. It just makes perfect sense to me that the dogs aren't there all the time. Something happened, they weren't there. I get that they weren't there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of people don't understand that because they think they have a dog, but the dog it's a house dog. It's in their house a lot of the time.
Some dogs don't
so it's not going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
But outside dogs, they'll wander all over the place.
Yeah.
So that is
stray dogs
legit.
in the country, they hang where they want to.
Yep.
And they wouldn't be hard to make friends with. That somebody, they said they saw somebody on their property before, hanging out on their property, feed the dogs a couple times. They're not going to bark. It doesn't make sense that nobody gets the dogs.
Sonja, people are going to wonder, I remember because I have a very bad memory, but people are going to wonder your exact relation to Don.
I'm his biological sister.
And a full-blooded sister, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
The only one that's really stayed in touch with him all these years. He's got another biological sister she's, sometimes I have contact with her, sometimes I don't. But my stepsisters, they have not had any contact with them for 20 plus years.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, we really appreciate you calling in, Sonja. I know that you didn't really want to get involved, but I know that also it's been weighing on you because you can't stand watching what Don and Candace are going through. I really appreciate you for calling in and being willing to say a little something for people to hear and see another side. So thank you.
You're welcome. No problem. Thank you guys for having a place where he could say something without everything being twisted.
Absolutely. It's the least that we can do.
Like we can't really, I would love to come down there and I'd walk in the woods for as much as I could, but we can't get down there. So we'll do what we can from up here, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate
Don,
it.
I just want to thank you again because, as you said, so many people have tricked you, manipulated, and I just want to thank you again. And I'm sorry that you guys are under attack just because of us, and that's not what you need. But I do really, I just want to thank you and Candace. Thank Candace for the time that you take away to do this and answer questions, and for trusting us not to be like other channels that have been out there and what they're doing. So thanks, Don. We do appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks to you all, because I know you guys have been taking a lot of heat, and it's like everybody I know, people attack everybody I know all that they can, and we know it's part of the crew that we was talking about earlier, but just thank y'all. And I just would like to say, love and prayers to everybody, and I'm sure Summer, she would say the same thing, and she was always breaking up arguments and stuff, with me and Candace was having a little argument, whatever. She would always say, stop, and be nice and be good. We love her and we miss her with all our hearts and everything we got. We love her. We just hope and pray that she's safe. And, but yeah, love and prayers to everybody, and thanks y'all very much. Okay.
You too. Thank you. Get back home to your wife.
Thanks. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, Don.
Good night, Sonja. Thank you for calling in. I think that was really awesome, and they're still going to drag Don or whatever, but
they just won't stop.
It's good to see the other side. But I'm sorry, people can't see emotion, and that's BS.
Yeah. Well, it'd be nice to get some reference,
I know he doesn't show a lot of emotion, but I've seen it when I call him. I know what they're going through. I hate it for him. I can't even imagine how it must be. But I wouldn't
Yeah,
show
I mean,
my
and we have no
emotions to the world
baseline.
either. Yep.
But we don't know what he was like before Summer went missing. So we're just going by what we see now. And yeah, like he's not freaking out, crying, screaming, wailing, but
He's broken.
yeah, he looks
Yeah.
broken to me.
You look sad now just from seeing and watching him. Like,
Yeah,
I could see your tone kind of
It
like,
bothers me to see another man hurting. Like I see it.
and
I don't
trying to
know why
be
other people
strong
don't.
for his wife and everything. And he, yeah,
And it's just
I don't
so
even
sad.
know how he's handling it.
I don't know either.
I'm afraid for him. I'm afraid for what, because I don't know how much more he can take.
Well, I think it'll lighten up soon.
Yeah.
People are riding this hate
hope
wave,
so.
but once, like, it will die off. It's going to have to take its course. Unfortunately, people are just horrible. They're mean and vicious, and they love to cause pain.
I know. I kept thinking it would die off. I kept thinking if he would just be quiet, people would run out of things to talk about. And I didn't want to say anything, thinking it would just it's just going to add fuel to the fire. But the fire doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't for a while, but it'll stop eventually. It's just going to take some
I hope
time.
so.
Well, Sonja, thanks again for calling in. This will go up. I'll text you with the link when it goes up, either tomorrow or Sunday.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for all
Thanks
you
again.
do. I'm sorry you
of
get so
course.
much help.
We get it anyway. It's okay.
I'll go through that if it helps get Summer home.
Yep.
I got no problem with
Absolutely.
You guys are awesome.
that. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.